I'll hit go live.
And of course, Timbo is still sort of vaguely in the background, as he always is.
Oh, shush. I do
Is
my
that
best.
is that better?
That's better. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
much.
Right, time for custard cream.
I literally only turned my my gain down literally by 2 notches. That was it. So I don't know why it's so.
So that was
sensitive.
enough.
Yeah,
That was
obviously.
enough. Yeah. Oh, well, I'll turn myself up then.
So yeah, I arrived and then
Oh.
I had to go again because as soon as I logged on, I had a delivery. And it's,
That's out of the way.
So, somebody went bloody live, didn't tell us.
I did. You just didn't hear me because I was way in the background.
yeah. So Alan, you have to stop calling everybody cunts now. See, we're alive. Right? So don't do that anymore.
Oh, dear. Anyway, let's see if I can raise hang on. So you might have to put up with a bit of shouting on Jem's channel. Hang on, we'll see what's going on. Let's undiffen myself.
God.
You're all just scoffing at Jem to call me a liar because I said about my neighbour
Oh,
and
Pete
the guy
Shea.
in the bus.
Oh,
But meanwhile, then, some fucker maybe is wiping us out, and you're not doing anything.
Nobody
saying
cares
anything.
about
Yes,
your
might be here, might be
insane...
Oh, maybe I'll leave it.
Yay! Voice of reason.
Yay!
I'll leave it for a second. The Pete Shea going crook. Yeah.
It's the Pete Shea Show. Woo!
Oh, dear. I'll see if there's any.
Nothing better.
Surname just
When he-
shit.
I mean, when he's when
Oh, there
when
he
he's
is.
there, it's all Pete Shea. Oh, there he's Paul. There he is. You've been
Yeah,
listening to
that's right.
Pete Shea, Paul.
I was about to find if there was anyone with a higher Q over at Jim's, but it was just Pete Shea swearing.
Well, it's not Pete Shea's got a higher kick.
No, I know. That's what I said.
I hope you.
He's not in the target of my check was it's now arrived. Yeah. There you go. Paul.
Looking for sense and reason, I got
Yeah,
Pete
good.
instead. There you go.
Did I listened a little bit to that EQ mount stuff? Did you listen to a bit of that?
I had it on in the background, but I wasn't really listening to it. I mean, you got dumbasses like Pete Shea talking. It's not worth listening to,
No.
really.
And Branch is there.
You'll find some way to bring it back to, it's a reflection of the barrier and Aristarchus.
Yeah.
Aristarchus.
Yes.
Drink.
Just a second. I can close that channel down now for the moment, which is good. Let's switch. Oh, you guys are looking at there. Let's switch over. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, I've lost you. You're there somewhere. There. Oh, you know I couldn't see you because it was the one I had highlighted. It was the button I had highlighted. There you are. You're now visible to the world. So I was saying the unfortunate thing about my bike. I was telling Alan was that.
Oh yeah, it got
yeah,
stolen. I heard about that. Yeah,
and my scooter.
terrible.
Still no
Yeah.
sign of it?
And it's good.
No news?
Nah. Well, not unless I track it out myself, I'd say. But even then, could be anywhere.
You did report it to the police, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did that straight away. I did have the serial number for the scooter. The bike is bought that many years ago. And I probably do have the serial number somewhere, but I'd have to dig through some pretty old archives to find it. But it is just frustrating because it was all finished and has all the new motor on it and stuff. And
Yeah.
if they're any,
It was a
if
pretty
they've got
good quality
any,
bike, too, wasn't it?
yeah. So if they've got any sense, they'll strip. If they did nothing else, they could sell the battery for a few $100 easy. It's worth $600 by itself. It's brand new. Anyway, that'll be.
I mean, the likelihood of you ever getting any of that stuff back or seeing it again is extremely unlikely. I mean, most people calling it a police officer that I was talking to when I had a theft going years back from we had stuff storing in a kind of like stables. The landlord let us use the stables across the road to actually use one of the stables as storage because he offered it for free. Oh, okay, fair enough. And yeah, they got broken into, and I had a whole load of tools stolen. I had a bench saw stolen, a miter saw stolen, a big hammer drill. I had which was given to me. That was stolen. A whole lot of other things as well, less valuable. But yeah, it was all the tools that I was mostly hacked off about. Basically, because they can nowhere else to store it. And the only reason why they let us do it is because the landlord was still building the garage. And then literally sort of like about a month later, the garage is ready. So if missed out by a month, yeah, it's frustrating. No, we never saw any of it back. Never.
That's the trouble. I think
That were the words of Maxwell Smart. You missed it by that
much.
Yeah, that much.
So,
Yeah.
just in case anyone's looking for my bike, looks like this. This was the last video I took of it.
I'll keep an eye out for it.
If it turns up in the UK.
You never
You
know.
see these posts on
Yeah, never
Facebook
know.
that they've shared from somebody else's post that they've shared, and the dog's gone missing or a cat's gone missing, and it's up in Scotland and they're posting it down in Kent. It's like,
Yeah,
did you
I've
not
seen
notice
that.
where the original post came from?
Well, the answer to that, but they'll probably be, you never know. You never know.
You never know.
You never know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, poor old bike.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah, so that'll be. That's what I said. Do I save up for a new bike or do I save up for a security system?
Logically, the
Both.
security system would be first,
Yeah, logically.
because they've already had one bike off you, and if you
Yeah.
get another one, they'll go, "Oh, thank you very much. I got a replacement. We'll have that as well."
Well, I'm thinking if I don't do something, they'll come and say, "Oh, well, he hasn't changed. I'll just wait until the door's opening. we'll sneak in." But I've made some other changes, made sure that the door has an auto closing facility and stuff like that. So even if it gets left open, it will close, all that sort of stuff. But I'll put up some cameras. Might deter some people.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't deter them, at least I'll have them on CCTV this time. I do have a camera that covers that area, a door cam, but it didn't pick them up. It was too far away, and they probably just walked past too quick for them for the camera to detect the movement, I'd say. So
you're looking for vampires who stole a bike.
yeah, that's right, because they're not on the camera. When I was looking through, because I ride past there myself, and it doesn't pick me up, so it didn't pick them up either. But it does pick up a car. If a car pulled up there, but it didn't pick up people. So, oh well, that's what life is, I suppose.
Before
How are
we
you, Blue?
start, can I show you all something? Can I share my screen? or
You
something?
can, yeah, hang on,
Real
you
quick,
can if
give it
I
a-
let you share. Hang on a sec. There you go. Now you can.
It was just right. You could. Oh, you probably just activated it now. Right, let's try that again. But I don't know whether this is actually true. Whether these people are actually doing what they're doing, but I sincerely freaking hope not. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I could see that.
You see that?
Yep.
Well, there's a guy on Twitter that shares kind of like these people nut jobs, and he's called anti-vaxxer or something. And these people apparently are saying that they're feeding their children borax.
That's
Yeah,
not a good idea.
not a good idea. Often used in it's used in laundry detergents and things like that. Like this guy here says, puts a pinch of borax and Celtic, I'm not sure what that is, in water for 13 and 15-year-olds. My daughter puts granddaughters in the bath, aged 4 to 9. That's not too bad, but still, they're not ingesting it at least. I give it to my children. There are 4 of them. It's likely difficult for the elder to give a little. It's easy for the younger ones. They don't know. It's borax water to their juice. What goes through these minds of these people? I don't get
That's
it.
the problem. Nothing.
But as I said I don't know if you can see it. As I say in my Twitter post, I mean, if it is true, they should be locked up for child abuse. I mean, there's no 2 ways about it. But I mean, people do claim things on the internet, don't they? They do.
Yeah.
It's probably absolute crap. But I don't know. But still, it's bad. Even just sort of putting that on the internet is bad enough. To be honest with me.
Wow,
I only get
that's-
Celtic
that's-
as a seat as a. I'm just trying to find it.
Yeah, I haven't
Apparently it's
looked
a
that up, I
water.
must admit.
I thought that was a Scottish football club.
Yes,
Yeah, it
I
was.
when I saw it.
Yeah.
Celtic, how are they doing at the moment? They up against it. Yeah.
Yes.
The hell is Celtic?
I don't know. I've no idea. I haven't heard of it.
Hey,
apart
it's
from the
that
football club.
bottom one. 1/64th of a teaspoon. How the hell do you measure that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's
They
exactly
don't
what I
notice
thought.
it as well. Diatomaceous earth, 1 drop of iodine, and a quarter teaspoon of chlorophyll. Magnesium lotion at night and castor oil. Poor little fuckers. My God.
Hmm.
So I looked up symptoms of borax poisoning. So earliest symptoms of gastroenteritis and
Oops, hang on a
characteristic blue-green emesis with diarrhea, abdominal pain, dehydration, renal failure may follow, meaning kidney failure.
God.
In severe toxicities, it is possible for more neurological effects with lethargy, irritability, seizures, coma, and cardiovascular collapse.
Oh, yeah,
No,
just
if you
give
get
it to your kids, they'll be fine.
Yeah, if you get to the stage of cardiovascular collapse, it's game over. You're
It
done.
is. Yeah.
You know, there's no coming back from that.
I-
But I mean,
bet-
you know, if they're giving their kids to it over a long period of time, you know, this is what you're going to be worrying about is kidney failure, renal failure. That's the thing. Never
Looks
mind
like-
the diarrhea, abdominal and dehydration. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. I was going to say, it looks like the Celtic is the salt. So it's not
Oh, right, okay.
Oh,
bad.
well,
it might not
if
be.
you look on the Wikipedia page for borax, the first thing it says under uses is this. Borax is used in pest control solutions because it's toxic to ants.
Yes. That was
Oh,
what I
right,
knew
okay,
it
there's
for.
that as well. Okay.
So
There you go. I didn't see that one.
something you can use for household laundry and cleaning products also kills ants. Yeah, why don't you drink it? That sounds like a good idea.
Because I remember you used to get little borax things and you put it in. This looked like a little tin foil thing to kill ants many years ago.
Well, it goes on to say because it's slow acting, worker ants will carry the borax to their nests and
Yeah.
poison the rest of the colony.
Yeah, well, that makes
So it's
sense.
just
Yeah, I
chemical,
used to
yeah.
use that stuff. Yeah, I used to use that stuff as well because we used to have ants all around our house for some bizarre reason. And yeah, same thing. Never knew that
It's got
about
quite an extensive list of uses here. Here's just a few. It's used in enamel glazes, a fire retardant, antifungal compound for cellulose insulation, swimming pool buffering agent to control pH levels, preservative in taxidermy, used by blacksmiths in forge welding. Oh yes, I've seen it mentioned in that context before. Used as a woodworm treatment, and it's like, can I put this in my kids' water?
And the
No,
preservative in caviar.
And if
What's
you
up?
mix it with polyvinyl alcohol, it makes slime.
Yeah.
What did you just say, Blue? I missed what you said.
And so it's also used as a preservative in caviar.
Oh, there you go.
Look at that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just. Ugh.
And you know
My
what?
word.
These fuckers will go to the doctor, right? And the doctor will prescribe vitamin B12, and they'll say, "Why are you poisoning me?"
Yeah. And these are, don't forget, these people are anti-vaxxers as well, so they're not going to take the
Yeah.
vaccine. They're not going to inject that, but they're going to give their children borax. Ooh, it's the same sort of people as well that take drugs and stuff like that. You know, they'll shove needles into their arms and take cocaine or whatever, but they're not going to take the vaccine.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of
Yeah,
that.
but
Yeah.
Embol, there's a bit of a
What
difference
do
between
farmer-
borax and boron. Anyway, go on.
I was just going to say, won't do pharmaceuticals, but we'll put street drugs in straight in a vein.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Of course, you know exactly what you're getting when you buy drugs from the street, don't you? Of course, you know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah,
No.
because that white powder you've got that hasn't been cut with anything.
No, not at all. Not that hasn't been touched. You're cut with vim or rat poison or anything like that.
Or borax.
Well, borax.
Or borax.
Borax.
Actually, that's a good way to stop drugs. Tell Tell everyone that they're cutting the vaccine into the street drugs.
Oh, is that the latest conspiracy? Is it?
No. Let's start this conspiracy that if you're taking street drugs, you're having vaccine. We'll stop the drug trade. So, Imbal, borax and boron is the same. Is that true? You guys will have to tell me.
I'm not sure it is it? Boron. What was boron? Let's look
I
at
thought
boron.
boron was a chemical.
Boron supplement. Let's use as a supplement, really, right enough.
No.
Boron is a trace element that is naturally present in many foods and available as a dietary supplement. It is a structural component of plant cell walls required to plant growth, pollination, and seed formation. So no, it's not the same.
No.
I would suggest.
Ants don't like it.
And possibly found in nuclear reactors.
Yeah, boron.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's a bit of a worry if you got borax in your nuclear reactor. I mean, you've got an ant problem.
Hey, a clean reactor is a happy reactor.
Blue's got something to share. Yeah.
Oh,
Has he?
Huh?
Has he?
No, this
Oh,
was
it's time for the
yeah.
Blue Marble chuckle again.
No dear.
There you go.
sheer genius.
Rare occasions we get to witness moments of sheer genius. This is not one of those moments. Warning, severe facial and monitor damage alert is in effect. Get out those oven mitts. Push the monitors back out of punching range. And let's light this dumpster fire and have some fun.
I mean,
That's awesome, bro. Yeah. No, I like that people change their mind, brother. I think that's good. I change my mind. I'm definitely still wrong about stuff.
And you have no idea how true that statement is about to become.
But I think the point is that if light is instant, it can't be a physical particle called the photon. That doesn't even make sense.
Well,
if I turn the laser on, it's a physical particle that comes out of the laser. It can't be instant.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, dear.
The thing about it is that most of the time with that model, when they're saying this particle that's leaving this and traveling and going to there, that does come back to heliocentrism, and like why it's so ingrained now is coming back to general relativity and the fact that C, which is based off of a heliocentric model.
So the speed of light comes from the heliocentric model in general relativity. Hey, Brian? Tell you what, folks, time to get out the oven mitts.
C, you know where C came from, don't you?
Well, it came from Maxwell's theories of permeability and permittivity, and then Einstein took that and had to make it constant so they could have something to measure against because everything else was relative.
The speed of light doesn't come from Maxwell's equations, Austin. It can be derived from Maxwell's equations, but it's a physical thing, a thing that actually happens. It's something that we can measure directly. It was measured by Romer and Huygens in 1675 by observing the moons of Jupiter. It was measured again by James Bradley in 1729 using aberration of light. And those measurements increased in accuracy up to 1972 when a guy named Evanston and some other people using laser interferometry were able to measure it to within 6 parts per billion. It's a physical, measurable thing, and Einstein didn't fix it to be a constant. It just is that way, Austin.
You know, no, C is the average distance between a globe Earth and its heliocentric sun over a 12-month period.
Again? What? What did he just say?
I thought that was one
You look at the
AU.
maths, it's exactly C.
How in the world can those two things be exactly the same, Brian? One of them is a distance, the other is a speed. The average distance from the Earth to the Sun is what we call an astronomical unit. It's 149,598,000,000 meters, give or take. The speed of light is a speed, not a distance. It is 299,792,458 meters per second. The numbers are off by a factor of 500, and the units are not even the same. What in the world are you talking about?
But I'm letting you know that that also, if you look in a vacuum chamber, if you look at the permeability of a magnetic field and the permittivity of an electric field, if you combine those two with Maxwell's equation, you get C. And it's generally pretty accurate. It's actually not accurate. It changes, but I didn't know what you're saying. I like you're saying.
They say a laser pointer, right?
Austin, I don't try to figure out what color my new shirt is by looking at the sales receipt. I look at the shirt. We don't try to figure out what the speed of light is by plugging numbers into Maxwell's equations. We measure the speed of light directly. And oh, by the way, if you know what Brian's trying to say, please don't keep it to yourself, because we have no idea.
You can take a laser pointer and you can use the calculation of C with that. You're using trigonometry with that, right? You use a triangle. So it sends something out. Or
What?
creates
It's what?
right,
Triangle?
creates
See, even Winston's lost.
a signal, let's just say. I don't have the correct terminology. Right? It's creating a triangle with the starting of that, let's call it light, the point on the wall or whatever you're hitting, and the sensor next to it. So it's creating a triangle. It uses triangulation. That's actually what it's using trigonometry. Sorry, to give you a distance. But the main part of that is the main backbone or calculation within that is C.
You're talking about a laser pointer, Brian. One of these things. When you push the button, it puts a dot of laser light on whatever you aim it at. Its only real practical use is to drive the cat crazy. You can't use it to measure distance. This is a laser rangefinder. This is what measures distance. You point that at a target, and it measures the length of time it takes the laser light to go from the rangefinder to the target and return to the detector. Knowing that length of time times the speed of light gives you the total distance the laser beam travels, and if you divide that by 2, you get the distance to the target. That's how that works. Trigonometry has nothing to do with this, Brian. It is a simple time measurement.
Well, you C is, let's just say, that's not exactly C because I don't have all the thousands. I have it there on my computer, but I don't have it in my head. C is 671 million miles per hour. You take a quarter of that.
What?
Right? You quarter that. So not 671 million, 1/4 of that. And you see if you can get any change in reality. You won't. I broke it down to 16 times, 1/16 of it. No change. In reality, nobody's going to notice the difference. That's a difference because it invokes a speed to light, number one. Right?
We agree.
That's the first thing. And secondly, can't, whatever, even if light has a speed, we can't notice it with our eyes. So you never, it's only calculatory.
Well,
you
can.
can break it down way down. From 671 million miles per hour. And it'll still make absolutely no difference in the real world with a laser pointer or with a distance pointer or a speed gun for police. It just changed the calculation. It won't change anything.
That's all, folks.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Idiot. That's all, folks.
That's very good, Blue.
Yeah. That was too stupid to pass up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them
would
were
make
saying
out
pretty
what Brian's
stupid
talking
shit.
about, but
Yeah, I mean, both of them, Whitson and Brian, were saying stupid shit in that argument.
Oh, it's bizarre.
Well, Richard trying to work out what Brian was saying. It's like,
yeah, the look on Winston's face was priceless.
I mean, even if he got the units of measurement right, like one being a distance and one being a measurement of speed, I mean the numbers were completely wrong anyway. He was like you got it doubly wrong. You couldn't get it any more wrong, could you? Really?
how more wrong could you get?
You can't. Not
Yeah,
that
hold my beer, says Brian.
I'll show you. I'll show you to be sharp.
How far is it to the local pub, Brian?
Oh, 50 kilometers per hour. I got you. What?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a long history over here of jokes that involve
severe facial and monitor
knocking
damage
the
alerts on
Irish,
effect.
and
Get out.
real Irish stereotyping. And I'm afraid Brian is reinforcing it every time he opens his mouth.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And it's funny, the first time I saw Brian, he looked exactly as I imagined he would look. Like a miniature version.
Incredible.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And a typical kind of country household, Irish household as well. And old curtains, old wallpaper.
Somebody did point out that does Brian and Pete Shea live in the same house? Because they are remarkably similar.
Maybe they're the same person.
They are, aren't they? Yeah. But if you've seen inside Pete Shea's house, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, quite often when he goes on camera, and you just look at the two and think, yeah, they're both the same, you know. Bless him. I mean, that was just pure gibberish.
Was it ever?
Yeah. I mean, okay, light does go a bit quick, doesn't it? But
I like you can't see any effects of it though. You know, we don't know what effects lights have at all. Like, you know, we just can't see any of it. You know?
And yet, within a certain corner of the flat Earth community, Brian's logic is held up as being one of the intelligent ones.
Oh, screwed.
They've both got an intelligence that tapers off about more rapidly than a magnetic field with distance.
I mean, yeah, light's instantaneous, it's instant. Really? So how does my laser measure work then?
Yeah.
When I think that's too long for the tape, I'll get the laser measure out and go, oh yeah, it says it's 6.432 meters, thank you. Boom. How does that work?
Yeah. I mean, it has to measure a very, very short length of time.
Very short.
Very short. Speed of light short.
Because if it takes 1 microsecond for the reflection to get back, it's 149.8 meters away.
Yeah, my laser measure is quite good, but anything over I don't know, say 50 meters, it'll do it indoors. Outdoors, you ain't got a chance. But yeah, you've got it held invariably against the wall, and you're like, "Where's the red light? Is it actually hitting the target I want to measure? I can't. Oh, quick! There it is! Quick, press button. You know, it's not very good over long ranges. You know,
no,
you won't see the U.S. Air Force using it for guiding bombs.
No. I'd be curious to see if he tries that same calculation to say over 10 meters and quarters the speed of light, if he still gets 10 meters or not. Somehow I don't think so.
No.
Trigonometry.
That was a good one. Yeah, of course. I'm trying to work out where the angle is, but and even 3 sides or anything actually there to work out where trigonometry comes from. Maybe he just didn't know what the term for, you know, measuring distance by speed was. So that was the best one he could come up with.
Yeah.
That hadn't heard of velocity.
See Brian out there waving his laser pointer around.
Yeah, you should see. He could try out what's his thing and see by laser shining at the moon whether he can shine it and get it to the moon. Like what's he did.
Oh, can't be any worse than what's his name pointing his thermometer at the sun. Do you remember that with the laser?
Yeah. Oh, that's Mikey Smith, isn't it?
Yeah, Mikey. That's right. Yeah, I couldn't remember that was that. Oh, that was
pointing his thermometer at the sun. See, it's not that hot. Okay,
the ground was hotter.
He thought the laser was. He thought the laser was measuring the temperature. You know, well, wherever my laser goes, it's measuring that temperature from 93 million miles away. Yeah, sure. Okay.
I mean, you can see why these people are flat earthers, can't you? Because they're just
some of them
and gullible.
Matt, I hope you would agree that hey, with Dr. Nimrod, hey, the rest of us Irish aren't as thick as him. Nobody can be as thick as him.
That sounds like a challenge.
The
Don't
rest of the
forget,
human
I'm not
race can't-
Irish. I'm not Irish. I happen to
No,
live
no,
here,
no.
but I'm not Irish. I've
No.
got to
Well,
say, I distance myself a little bit.
and Joe Whip asks, who is nuttier, Brian or Lindsay?
No.
Ooh.
Well, if you talk, if you
different flavors. That's it's like picking, which flavor do you prefer? Yeah.
I would say Lindsay on this crazy scale probably tops it. But in terms of pure stupidity and dumbness, I think Brian Logic probably cracks that one.
I think they're two sides of the same coin.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, they're both nuttier than a jar of peanut butter. So
This is
And
true.
crunchy one at that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or squirrel poo.
It's that bloody chocolate bar again, isn't it? What has a hazelnut in every bite? Squirrel shit. Yeah.
Ah, dear. I'll ask people whether it's Lindsay time. I've got an 80%. We have to do two. One farmer's missed out last week, so.
Oh, hang on. There's a speaker on up the road. I might have to go to the festival after all. We're going to do two.
You tried to run away. Bingo came up fairly early last week. We didn't have to watch a lot of it. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Time for me to make a cup of tea. Then I'll be back in a minute.
Slackers.
I screwed up big time this week.
Yeah.
I forgot to remind my daughter that she needed to put tea bags on the shopping list.
That is
I have
not good.
one tea bag. I have one tea bag left.
How many cups of tea is that going to end up making? Yes, that's a good point. I'm deficient in the tea department.
Because I shall go to Latham's after we finish talking and get some more tea bags.
Yes. Get them delivered.
Getting shopping delivered around here is not as easy as it seems.
Okay. You need a good week. DoorDash. DoorDash is good. You need DoorDash. Except they tend not to do it if you ask, can I get one tea bag, please? And 36 bucks.
We don't have I don't have DoorDash here.
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't think you do.
Because
I mean, if I do run out,
don't the DoorDash people do it on push bikes normally?
No. Very only in the big cities do they do push bikes, but it's too hard to get around in cars. Like I say the big cities,
delivered by robot.
Yeah. You can do Uber Eats.
Look like a 6-wheel suitcase.
You'd have Uber Eats over there, surely.
I don't know which retailer they come from, but I have seen them several times around Milton Keynes, trundling along the footpaths, and they sit there and wait at the pedestrian crossing for the lights to change. And...
Yeah, that's on the push bikes.
Not here. I don't.
You don't get Uber Eats.
Uber here.
Oh, what? I thought Uber was everywhere.
How can I get Uber anything when there isn't any Uber?
Don't you have Uber at all?
Not where I am.
Just need some guy with a car deciding to hook onto the Uber app. That's all Uber is. Oh, Matt, we saw you. Trying to sneak past.
Just did a flyby.
We'll just wait for him to come back with his cup of tea, and then we'll start.
That's film for a Yeah, I could go make a cup of tea, but I've got a bottle of water, so that'll.
Joe, if I get loose tea, I'd have to get a teapot as well. And I'm not against having a teapot, but it's
a lot of faff, isn't it?
It's a lot of faff for one cup of tea, one mug of tea.
I remember loose tea in the way back when I used to do tea when before I was like 7, and you had to do the tea bag, reading the tea leaves type rubbish and stuff. So, bit hard to read the tea leaves when you got a tea bag. I predict you throwing this out.
Yeah, I remember a teapot that used to take a dozen tea bags.
Yeah.
That was the one. That was the one at work. A dozen tea bags to make the pot of tea.
I remember
and you'd have to fill it up again to do tea break in the morning during the week with all the extra people there that weren't just on your shift. But then when I started on the shift, there were 32 people. When I finished, there were 3 of us. Because the fourth guy was on the fourth guy had been sent to the Falkland Islands for 6 months.
Oh, okay, that's so good. Sorry, I was laughing. I saw Matt sit down, see that we hadn't started Lindsay yet, and got up again.
Now that's the logic of the Irish. Just eat the loose tea, drink hot water and milk and sugar, and jump up and down a bit afterwards.
Paul, did you post up for some clues to your mystery scientist?
I'm about to. I'm just finishing typing it now.
Oh, cool. I was just looking. I didn't see any there. And also, I'm stalling for time. I'm just hoping to try and get back with Matsy. But that's okay. Let's start Lindsay. I don't know if Dora likes it, Lindsay. We need we need to sign Dora up to Lindsay's Patreon account.
Yes.
Larry, we've got a big.
I just said I upset those Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My initial comment was epic. I've got some drying paint that would excite you. One of them's just come back and sniped at me because somebody said I was boring. And I said, oh, bless you, talk as if you know me. And the other one's just come back. Like you just said you had a bunch of drying paint. No. And I just put humour. It is a difficult concept. Oh, sorry, that's Star Trek. Of course, I haven't actually got any drying paint, you fucking idiot. My God, these people are dead.
So Matt, you're back. We can start now. Okay, we're just waiting for you.
Oh, you haven't started? Oh, damn you!
We need to remind Larry that we actually had a bingo last week, so we were put out of our misery early.
Yeah, we had. I think it was a Turing test. I think got it early. So
okay, how many bingo cards?
You can set up as many bingo cards as you're willing to. So I've posted the link up above and on the chat. So we will start. Let me put this up first. I thought believe it or not, there is no new Lindsay. So I think he's trying to go full Patreon. We'll see how long that lasts before he comes back to try and get people to go over there. Anyway, this is an old Lindsay, very old Lindsay. I haven't seen this one, so let's get started. We all ready? You got your cards up and ready?
Yep.
Yes, but I ain't going to get Kundalini this week, am I? Again?
Oh, probably not. I've got Kundalini as well, so let's see how we go.
I didn't get one last week. I was quite pleased with that.
Ooh, what's this?
You playing with me?
Metal ball. Playing with
Welcome all you flat earthers. I've just created a flat earth replica.
It's a globe.
Flat earth
I've created stars.
It looks pretty global
Stars
to me.
within our dome. Looking down from above, and I can see stars floating around in the middle of nowhere. I've got a fishbowl. I've sprayed the back of it, and due to the curving of this, say, the southern field, we get the parabolic effect, which projects the images out into La La Land, out into the middle here. Holographic projections.
He knows where La La Land is.
So you can imagine this is the northern part of our dome, and the back, the southern
What do you
part.
say, hemisphere?
We're down here in the middle. So out here would be the central vortex of the donut. So you imagine this being a massive donut. So this part will go all the way around in the solid part of the donut, but in the centre will be the magnetic vortex that turns the magnetic field. across and around the Earth. So I can't make these move because I don't have this other part of the model. But here we have the projections. So what you can see is how the northern field, the northern rotation, flips the image on the southern field upside down. So we have the light up here and the image is down the bottom. So if I move these lights down, those back images on the southern field would come up. This is what happens when you've got two symmetrical arcs facing each other.
But they're not symmetrical.
So,
No.
They're the opposite
Steps
of
of it.
symmetrical.
So it's basically all mirrored. I thought I would need moisture because our atmosphere above us is full of moisture. I mean, this is well, here I am. So all the air has got moisture in it. So I am replicating the whole thing, aren't I?
No.
So I'm looking down. It's really cool because I can see them just sitting there in the middle of nowhere. Pretty awesome. Blowing a lid on the spinning ball again, just as I'd shown in all my previous videos how this would work. I just happened to come across this from a $3.50 at a second-hand shop. It was an aquarium. I didn't realise it had a hole in it though until I got it home, but that doesn't matter because I didn't buy it for a flipping aquarium. Here's the hole. So this is it, folks. There's the stars. So imagine these are the stars out in the northern vortex, but it would be turning 24/7. Sun's at the centre, doing a little rotation because the sun.
Put the sun in there.
The sun does a little rotation, so does Sigma Octantis and so does Polaris, because they are both nighttime images of the sun. The sun does that small rotation because it's going around the black hole. So it's not quite at the centre, but it's near enough, and that's what reflects all the stars into the sky at night. It's the back side of the sun. The back side of the sun. There is a back side because it's tucked into the Milky Way. It's not in the spinning ball theory book, is it? No.
No, I wonder why.
Christ born in a manger. Christ is the son born in the manger, stuffed in the straw, the hay, the manger. The Milky Way is the manger, the long trough. Call it what you will. It's all been left for us. It's all written. So you've got the northern lights here, up top, flipped images on the southern field. So if someone took photos at the same time each night, someone say 40 degrees north, say facing north, but maybe you have to try facing south too because there is a mirror reflection going on here. So, but if we had someone at 40 degrees south, facing south, taking photos on the same longitude at the same time as someone was taking photos 40 degrees north,
Can't be on the
you'd
same
find it would be the same image.
Yes, you could. Sorry, you could.
The same image, only flipped upside down. It's like quite a few photographs, but at the same time, within the same longitude, equal declination.
No.
And that's what you'll find. You'll find one image is just flipped upside down from the other, north to the south.
No.
What else can I say? Oh, well, we'll demonstrate. You see my hand here. Look, you can never get to stars. They're not billions of miles away.
Hand. Where is it?
They're only just above us in the firmament. Science has to tell you they're billions and millions of miles away because they're all seen in many places. I mean, they're in many places, but only seen in one. They're only seen in your one horizon. Everyone has their own arch of horizon. How far is your horizon?
Like an
5K.
arc of horizon.
Rise up, your horizon expands. Rise up, Daniel, you will see further. That isn't written for dummies who didn't know if you went up a mountain you see further. No, but that's what spinning ballers would think. That's because they don't think. Now, they're all just up there in the firmament. You get in an aeroplane and you'll never get to these. You just go through them. You fly through them. The stars, they're not that high.
Wouldn't you fly through them? They would block the reflection and your stars would disappear.
I mean, how far you travel, they're always moving out ahead of you. Look at that. It's magic. Well, this is based on magic. You get a lot of this in magic shows. They sort of use systems like this. A black background to fool you. Creating these holographic images or reflections, projections. Let's see, like that. Gone. No black background. So this is how a TV works. Inside the tube of the old TVs, they're all black like this. So if you cut the front face off, you can do the same thing. Not sure how you cut that glass though.
No.
No. That's not how TVG
So you have to
works.
create the whole model if I had funding
Not
for
at all.
this. Cost a bit of money. Basically, you're building a
Not even
massive
close.
donut out of perspex or this polycarbonate with the
Polycarbonate,
central
that's what we
with the
make
donut.
candies
The
out of.
central hole in the middle will have a turning vortex, trumpet shape that would have the lights around it. So you put the lights around that and just turn that in the centre of this donut. You have all the back of it all sprayed black, and you create the whole, well, not the whole system because we haven't got the magnetic fields flowing with the stars all. No, you get the same sort of thing. You don't need the magnetic field. The magnetic field is flowing all the time, but that's not supporting or driving the star's motion. The star motion is just the central vortex is continuously turning. So what we find from the central vortex, because this is turning all the time, and it's in the centre, you'll get an image all the way around the donut. So wherever you are at night, you will always get your image if you're out south facing south. No matter what longitude you're on, as long as it's night time, you'll get your direct rotation because you're between south and centre north, because it's all reflected from dead centre above the Arctic. That's where the vortex is, an unseen vortex to man. Man will not comprehend this godly place, for it is not earthly. We cannot see creation. There's only one black hole that's right back in the centre of there. It will never affect us. There's no other black holes out there. You can imagine there.
In your later videos, you said there's lots of black holes.
The realm we live in is all magnetic, so you break a magnet down, what do you get? Another smaller magnet. Break it down again, another smaller magnet. Maybe it works like that out there in this projected space. But there's nothing solid above us. It's called heaven. It's non-physical. The physical world is down here on Earth.
And what's it reflecting off?
It's all written. All this is written. All religions, cultures, myths. The Hermetica tells us basically Earth is at rest. The same as the human brain. They say Earth's a sphere like a head and turns like a head, meaning the way your brain functions. Exactly the same. Our two hemispheres of the brain. We have a pineal gland in the centre. On the Earth, we have the two hemispheres.
He said two hemispheres. Does that mean northern and southern?
In the centre, in the ecliptic, above the tropical zone on Earth, there's a celestial tropical zone between the northern and southern turning.
Say the right bloody words.
Right to the centre of that gap. That gap represents the tropical zone down here on Earth. You'll get Orion's belt passing right through that.
Why would he say hemisphere?
The gap is the
Orion's belt.
Say tropical gap and celestial gap, not zone.
One side all the way to the other.
Please.
As it turns around the Earth, so it's winding up as it goes around and then comes back down. And further out south to the Tropic of Capricorn, it's always full moon. And it's always new moon, it goes back in towards Cancer because it's going into the sun. It goes into the sun. And as it winds out and down, the moon that is, it's passing over the planets. The planets all have their own tracks. Evenly divided, not evenly, but they're divided, separated.
The planets are passing in front of the moon.
Imagine it.
There we go.
Like going around a cone, but they're all on one level track. And the moon passes across them, like strumming an instrument. She plays the tunes, because everything is based on frequency. Our whole existence is based on frequencies that we don't even hear. I wandered off
He
the
say
Hermetica.
field, by the way. I think he said
Hermetica
field,
says,
doesn't he?
He's had used the word
State of
field.
rest. So Earth, it says Earth is from the whole.
I just need
those
ether.
exact words
Please say
from the
ether.
whole, because in the
Please
centre
say
of the black hole, it's at rest.
Please say.
Nothing happens inside the black hole. It's the eye of the storm. All the action's on the horizon.
He said
That's where the sun
Kundalini
is
too, I'm
created.
sure.
The two forces coming together. The two forces and all the action. And that movement creates life on Earth. But the Earth itself, dirt, rock, is all stationary. Earth is stationary because it's from the plane of inertia, which is the centre of the black hole.
What about the ecliptic
Everything's
plane?
created by the
Really?
black hole. The whole realm is a projection. Physicists have been telling us this.
Real.
I watched one on YouTube the other day.
All I
and,
need is
one
Norse
person in the
mythology.
audience mentioned something about the elliptic.
All I need is
Jumped down,
ether. I just need ether.
quickly spoke up and said, no, because they could be round. Knowing, they're not elliptical tracks the planets are taking. It's a round track. only appears elliptical because of the elliptic egg shape the sun is on the horizon of the black hole. The black hole is like a ring magnet, right? Imagine it. But you put a yoke off to one end, one side. It creates the head. That gives it an egg shape, elliptical shape. And that's turning 24/7. Does a 360-degree rotation. Because that's turning, and we relate the planets to the sun, it makes scientists think, what they do think, that the celestial bodies, the planets, are doing an elliptic rotation. And they're not. It's because they're relating it to the elliptic shape of the sun and black hole.
They're not. But
So,
okay.
it's the guts of it. What else can I say?
But you could say southern hemisphere.
Realise the sun. It's,
Or northern.
It has
Or
two
northern.
sides. Everything in our existence has a pair. The Hermeticus tell us this. Everything is paired. Male, female, black, white, up, down, in, out.
Kundalini.
Magnetism,
Has
electricity.
he said Kundalini?
Day, night.
No.
Oh, damn! I'll take that off then.
You name it. Where was I going with that? Not sure.
Come on, don't forget the
Here we
Vikings.
go. There's all the celestial bodies. Nothing's on the back wall. It's all floating out here. It's all floating. The sun being tucked on the Milky Way, that's right. It turns on the back side at night. It turns into the Milky Way. We see the Milky Way pop up. And you have to realise the Milky Way sits vertical in here. But because of all these parabolic effects, the concave surfaces, it gives us a curving appearance in our night sky. But there's a mirror image from the south to the north, isn't there? People want to know why the moon looks upside down, because there's the parabolic mirror reflection.
What?
No.
The centre north vortex is shaped like this. A
Oh,
trumpet.
no.
But this way
What? What is
right
it?
down in there.
What?
Trumpet? What are you on about? Bugle, I should say.
He's blowing his own
Because
trumpet, isn't he?
we don't have the donut effect. With
Blowing his own horn.
Two symmetrical arcs, north and south, go all the way around in a donut shape with this vortex would sit in the centre, the gap, the hole in the middle of the donut, and turn. With that turned, you're going to get you'll get your rotations, everything is exposed.
I'll say ether. Come on.
So, if someone was willing to help fund the project, I could probably have the whole thing made up. But my channels don't go anywhere on YouTube. It's like YouTube does something with them, they just don't go anywhere. Like a year-long videos, it looks like no one even looks at them.
I wonder why.
Now and then you get someone look at it, but I don't know what they do with them. 2 years and there's only 1,000 subscribers there, so I think if it's not getting out there,
Poor man.
there's no point in getting
Go on,
too
do it
involved
all.
with this YouTube stuff. Too heavily,
What is going on?
I'm not putting myself in too much debt anyway. There you have it, everyone. Lights up here, reflected back on the bottom. Lights down here, reflected up at the top at the back.
Oh, don't tip your fish out. Yeah, turn it around. Does it work?
Get those stars.
Well, no, he painted the back of it black, didn't he?
Oh yeah, I'm flying to the moon. Oh, can't find the moon. Uh-oh.
Don't get sucked in by the vortex, Lindsay.
That's all NASA has to do. Set up a rocket and fly straight towards a full moon one night.
We'll get
With
your
a-
hand
with
back.
Film,
No,
cameras
the
rolling.
last thing we want to see from
You'll see it
Lindsay is the
disappear.
full moon.
They'll never get to it. We get to a certain point where we probably end up
No,
in
we
the
don't see
flipping
that.
firmament. And they'll crash and burn. That'll be a great sight. But no one ever goes up in those rockets. Yeah, now you got those Branson and all those dudes flying up to 50,000 feet, saying they've gone into space. Whoop-de-doo-da. There's no vacuum up there. You can't get into any vacuum because you can't get into the black
Sure.
hole. Into the black hole, where there's something of a vacuum. And like I say, you can't get to the black hole. You can't get out. If this Earth, stationary Earth, inertia was attached to the black hole, you could get out there. We'd all get sucked into it, wouldn't we? And again, maybe not, because on the horizon of the black hole, there's a force. You cannot just go into the black hole from the side. That's why darkness, out of darkness comes light, but darkness comprehends it not, which means the sun's created, but the black hole can't suck the sun in, the light in, because it's this outward centrifugal force. But if you come up and go inside, up top, higher, you get into the wormhole,
Centrifugal force holding the light in.
the Milky Way vortex, and you get pulled straight down through the hole. That's how the system works. So, you know, there's just no way. The firmament, it's like a force field. Gaseous pressure layers. It cannot get out. I think I've spilt the beans enough there.
No, Dr. Nimrod, you can't get sucked off by the
first time on my channel, go check out some of our videos. I've taken a few down now, but if there's less than 10 likes, I'll just take them down. I'm not going anywhere. But you know, you need to see a lot of my videos to get the full picture of how the flat Earth works. So just you can't spill it all in one 27-minute video. So most of the video, you know, you learn something from each video. Even if the other 20 minutes is boring. No, they're not boring. Pretty mind-blowing if you ask me. There you have it. Catch you on the next video then.
Oh, Lindsay, you let me down.
I was so
Didn't get any of that one.
just needed Norse mythology.
I think I got a total of 5 squares covered that time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I got a few, but
I've got
Norse
9.
mythology
But
was never going to come up, was it?
you would have thought of all the things he would have said, he would have thought you'd say ether, and that's all I needed. I just needed.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Although,
I don't know.
actually,
What's
he's
he not
not
say
quite
northern and
as-
southern hemisphere? You go.
He's
I
not
know, he
quite as
kept-
stupid as you think.
He kept saying what did he say? Northern and some southern zone or something, or
yeah.
area or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was like, oh no,
Yeah.
he could have got 2 in 1 then.
I mean, that's like he said, celestial zone and
Yes,
typical zone instead of the gaps.
the gaps never said
But
gap.
He's he's not completely he's not completely dumb. At least he managed to paint paint for him the correct side of the perspex bowl,
Yes.
so
He
that
didn't
he'd
paint
get
the
the
inside.
reflections.
Yes. Ah dear. Paul, did you get a chance to post your clues?
I did, but someone's already got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did
I
they?
think it was Turing test got the right answer.
Jane just got the right answer, yes. Judy wants to invite Branch. I said he can come into voice into text chat. That would be fine. Then I could mute him.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
Poor old Branch.
Well, I don't
Can't
know.
help himself.
If he's not destroying a conversation, he's just not himself.
Yeah, exactly. If there was a competition about how quickly you could destroy a conversation, he'd win it.
Yeah. That's what he does. What do we want to do now? We could have... Paul, do you have... Just planning for the night. Do you have a quiz tonight?
I do. I have a general knowledge quiz, a hard general knowledge quiz. Yep.
Good. That's right. Well, I do have some other stuff we can do first, but I was just planning. I do have a Leo. I forget which Leo this one is, though. Let's put a Leo on.
Oh, another Leo.
Oh, not poor Leo.
I was going to look at Toon, but it was Toon and what's his name? Talking about how David Weiss has been lying about the Indians. But
Yeah, I've seen his video, moron.
it was sort of like, yeah, we know it's not. It's an animation. It's like, yeah, no one claims it's anything other than animation.
Yeah, he's trying to change it into like apparently that both ISRO.
I want you to tell me what you think is going on.
The Indian Space Agency and the rest of us are doing a mind game with them, a mind trick. It's just quite simple. Nobody ever claimed that it was anything else but an animation. It's obviously an animation, and
yeah,
that's it. End of story. There's nothing more simple than that. And ever since then, there's been images and video footage from the lander and the rover anyway. So
it's just like the animated footage they showed when Apollo 11 was landing on the moon.
Yeah,
because there was obviously nothing there to film it. So that TV studio played the animation, and the animation ended, and they still hadn't landed.
Yeah.
Because NASA, they'd said to NASA, how long is it going to take? So they came up with an animation that lasted an X amount of time and started playing at the right moment. And then, as we all know, Armstrong said, "No, I'm not landing there because it's a field of bloody rocks." And it went over the time, and the poor guy, just had to sort of keep talking because their animation showed them landing on the moon. They hadn't got there yet.
No.
And it's exactly the same problem the Indians had. They had nothing other than showing an animation. What else could they do?
Well, if you're showing SpongeBob SquarePants, do you really need to say animation on the screen? And that animation that they were using is not that far from SpongeBob SquarePants. Come on.
Exactly. Well, actually, I would say SpongeBob SquarePants was probably marginally better than that animation. Fair.
Much more sophisticated.
No disrespect to Isro, but it was, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's more a case they had to realise they had to show something when they were saying, "Oh yes, we're firing retro rockets and we're slowing down. We have to put something up on the screen." So,
but have you noticed that if you look at all the videos that everybody's done about the Indians landing on the moon, not one of them actually showed the tracking data, the vertical and the horizontal velocity and altitude and all the rest of it. Not one of them showed that. None of them. Interesting.
It is.
Yeah, funny that.
Just saying.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
I mean, most modern day car dashboards are animations these days, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right.
True. Yeah.
That's it. What's happening? Wait. Yes, Dr. Numa, I had to tell you, it's only an animation. The real footage of SpongeBob SquarePants is kept in a vault, and they just put animation up instead.
Yeah.
Right.
I still want to know how they can have fire in the in Bikini Bottom. He goes camping. They have a campfire.
Yeah.
Well, they do manage to get fire to get to work underwater, don't they? I mean,
not the way they do in SpongeBob SquarePants. So. You know that in the burger joint that they run with gas, they burn the hot plates are fed by gas.
Look, I have a terrible admission to make now.
Yeah.
I have never ever watched a single episode of SpongeBob.
It's okay, you haven't missed out.
Yeah, well, I was kind of forced to. I had children that were both loved SpongeBob, so yeah, I didn't have a lot of choice.
No, I've seen bits, but I've never seen the entire episode because why would I when there's Family Guy?
You've got to keep up with popular culture. Yeah, so
True.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
True, there is Family Guy. That is true. Yeah,
Family Guy.
I just never had something that could receive the channel that SpongeBob was on.
Oh, yeah.
You won't miss him much. Don't worry about it.
No.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure. I mean, not for me, but for the kids. Because I'm pretty sure you had to have satellite for that, didn't you?
No, it was early in the morning over here when it first came out. But no, to watch it all the time, you need to have a stream channel. Yeah, Nickelodeon.
I think it's. I don't know. I think it might have appeared on something like I don't know, BBC or ITV at some point or another. It's kind of like an episodes that are like from the past, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I have to ask my daughter. She used to watch it a lot once upon a time. But yeah, we did have Sky TV, to be fair.
It's not Bluey, let's put it that way.
Bluey's brilliant. I love Bluey. Sorry, but you know.
Yeah, Bluey's pretty good.
Having discovered it very recently.
I love all the dog puns in there and subtle dog references. Like the mother working at the airport, obviously, is a drug sniffing dog. And the other archaeologist who obviously digs up bones. There's all these little subtle things in there all the way through. It's good. Now. Oh, what have I got? I got Leo. Hang on. Let's put on Leo. I haven't watched this one, so I don't know what's going on here. Oh, what's going on here?
No, I haven't either. What's going on here?
Let's just say, being that's Leo, probably not a lot. So
He's going to be wrong.
He's either going to be wrong or he's going to lie,
what you
or
think's
both.
going on
Both.
on this official
It's a bit soft,
ISS clip we're going to look at very shortly. I can only come up with two options. Option one, the astronaut has become a human musical instrument. Or option two, we're witnessing a puppet glitch. Like I say, if you've got another
hold there
option,
for a second.
please let me know in the comments.
Did you see what he does this every single video? I don't know if you noticed, but he's telling the audience what they're going to see. He's telling the audience already that there's a mistake and this is what it's going to be. He's already lining them up already. This is what he does.
Yep.
Comment section. This is the clip in question. It's about 30 seconds long. I'm just going to play it and then we're going to come back and zoom in on the silliness. I want you to pay particular attention to the astronaut on the right, who's the lady now in the middle of the screen.
No,
right near the end
It's a real
of the
name,
video,
you know.
she gets to experience something that's rather strange, to say the least.
How many times?
I think we should all take bets on what it's going to be that he doesn't like.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
I wouldn't give you very good odds, Alan.
I'm all
No,
for
I mean, we're going to take a poll.
encoding issue.
Take a poll. What's going to happen? I reckon it's going to be a video artifact. But anyway,
MPEG
or a video
artifact?
glitch.
Yeah. It's going to be a video artifact. That's
And
what
I
it's
think
going
part
to
of her arm will go missing or something. Yeah. Let's see.
Age less in space because there's no gravity?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. We wish that were the case, and I think cosmetically maybe we look a little bit younger if we have, I think, fewer wrinkles sometimes because we have this upward shift of everything without gravity pulling our skin down. But realistically, there actually is a toll on our bodies physiologically and medically, and that's part of.
Very strange stuff. The astronaut herself
Moved
had
the
no
foot, and-
idea this was coming. Look, surprised. Yank. It's almost like she's being played like a musical instrument here.
What?
We look at her legs, they're being
Just
pulled
clicks her feet
across
together.
and then
Oh,
upwards.
dear.
like
He's got her
across
feet hooked
and
under a
up.
bloody rail.
We can clarify that by looking at her shoulders, across and up. This is obviously some sort of malfunction here with the harness
that's a new one.
and the lifting mechanism these people use to fool naive individuals.
Oh, she can't move her feet. What are you talking about?
Orbiting a
Oh,
scientifically
God, this is
impossible globe Earth.
Weak.
To me, there can be no
This is
other
it.
explanation. This isn't a natural movement, which I think I've ever seen from one of the astronauts on the so-called space station. If you're claiming it is, please enlighten all of us here
Just the whole video rather than you
as to
zoomed
what
in
we're
one.
actually seeing. Give us a
Hold on,
logical
pause it there for a
explanation
second.
here.
I bet you what all it is basically there's foot restraints all the way along there. They can sort of stand this so they can hold themselves still so they can do their work, right? I reckon she's had a foot in one of them and it slipped out. That's that sudden movement. That's it. That's what it looks like to me. It's just,
I want to know if the whole video
what's
shows her
unnatural
feet.
about it?
Yeah, I want to know if the whole video
Although,
shows her
so-
feet.
Funnily enough, my body does stuff like that all the time. Just a little spasm. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it looks like the other girl bumps her arm, and for some reason she just gets one of those little twitches that you get sometimes.
Yeah, but I think she's moved her feet over. It sort of looks like to me
Yeah.
she's got like a magnetic, like I think your explanation is probably better in that she slipped out of one restraint and up against the other.
Yeah.
But
Because
it sort of looked like
you
she
get
had
about, what you got to bear in mind, is, sorry, you're in microgravity, right? So in order to adjust your position, you've got to kind of move different parts of your body, not just like one part of your body. So what she's trying to do is I think her foot slipped out of one of the restraints by the looks of things. It's like a sudden leg movement, and she's adjusting her body so she doesn't suddenly do like a twist. You know, as things do happen when you're in microgravity. If you watch astronauts in the ISS often enough, you get to see the kind of like these movements that they have to do in order to get them to the right kind of position they need to get into. And I think that's all she's done. She's just readjusted her body center of gravity a little bit to sort of keep herself back in and got her foot back into the restraint again. I think that's all it looks like to me. It doesn't look unnatural at all. You know, not to me. It doesn't.
I think it'd be interesting to try and find that actual footage to see what, because he never gives references either, which is real frustrating.
No, he never does. You have to go and look for it.
And I'm pretty confident people send him stuff because he just doesn't seem like the guy who actually would do any research. So, actually, here we go.
Anyway,
here we go. Hang on, it's just about done anyway. I found this image, right? Can see that? So you can see down the bottom the foot restraints you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. They're all along different areas like that. They can put and they can actually move them at time to time as well. Different restraints, but those bars, they use those bars a lot.
So she's probably slipped her foot out of it, and and it's just
that's what it looks like to me. Yeah,
clipped her feet together basically.
Yeah.
That's why I'd be curious to see the whole video to see if you can actually see her feet in it. So, or whether that's been.
So those restraints are always on the same side of each module. They're always on the same side, and they do that on purpose to give them kind of like I suppose, an orientation of what's up and what's down. Because if you think about the amount of time, on average, 6 months usually of some missions in the ISS. After a time, your brain's going to get disoriented. So they give it a perception of at least what's up and what's down. So some sort of orientation, if you know what I mean. That makes sense.
Well, that's what I was just looking, because that's the same shot. Obviously, it's not exactly the same setup because it's different time.
Yeah.
Well, the hatch and everything's all the same,
module.
but the,
same module.
There's obviously a different experiment going on over here than there was on the day this one was done. But
exactly.
So that's what they got on the floor, and that's all that's happened, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so just underneath that astronaut's under her head, that's probably where her foot was. It slipped out, probably.
One of these things, and she's probably trying to move over a little bit, and it's just come out.
Slipped out. Yeah. Slipped back in again. She probably didn't even notice because it probably happens all the time. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't going to make reference to it, but she's on video, so she just carry on.
Yeah, and bear in mind as well as they don't wear shoes because there's no point. They've just got these thick. I'm not sure what material they're made of.
What you mean? They're not trying to keep the mud
out. Yeah. So it's going to be fairly easy to actually sort of make your foot slip out. I mean, if you're wearing boots, probably you could get a better grip, but they don't. None of them wear boots.
No,
just like a thick sock.
Whoops, sorry.
Anyone, carry on, Jeeves. Carry on.
Carry on. Well, I think that's just about it. He's going to just say his usual ending. Tosh, hang on.
Yeah. Oh, is that it? Is that all he's got?
Harness and a lifting mechanism that seems to be malfunctioning. Good luck with that.
That was it. Ain't no more.
That was weak.
Who's looking at?
Weak? He's starting to get desperate, isn't he? He's getting like really weak with his videos now. Weaker and weaker and weaker.
I still want to know why this is in my video feed. I don't care.
What have you been searching for?
Well, I always have one of these ones. I sit there and I say, "Why the hell is it in my video?" It's got nothing to do with anything I've looked at. Waterfall cool-off scenes. Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. Well, I hate Adam Sandler, so something I got to look at. My least favourite actors. So I don't know. Hey, can we get one of these, please? Can you make this happen?
America's new race into space with spin launch.
Oh, this is old.
The problem
with
getting things into orbit has always been the rocket equation. That is, the vast majority of what it takes to get a rocket beyond our atmosphere is fuel, more than 90% of it. But what if, in fact, most of that fuel is not actually needed?
Not this again.
I think it's going to be 105 today. Welcome to the high desert of New Mexico.
In a remote valley of New
105 in
Mexico,
Farmer's Place.
beyond gates that look like they're straight out of a science fiction movie, An object that seems like alien technology.
Looks like a snail.
Towers above the terrain. 2.2 million tons of steel. And a little bit taller than the Statue of Liberty.
This is just a prototype.
That's right. This is A33, short for Accelerator 33.
And it's the world's largest diameter vacuum chamber.
It's the brainchild of Jonathan Yaney, founder and CEO of Spin Launch.
So we're standing here underneath the vacuum chamber. This is the main.
So what do you reckon of Spin Launch, Matt?
Well, when I first heard about it, I was pretty skeptical, to be perfectly honest with you, because I thought the energy that required would be too much. But bear in mind what they're talking about is very small payloads, very small.
Yeah.
But they've actually done a test. By all accounts, it didn't get into space, but it did like a low altitude suborbital, I suppose, test, and it did work, and it worked better than they thought it would.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't see any reason why not that they might be able to put something into orbit, but like a very small payload maybe at some point.
Well, I think that's.
But,
I can see that being where the money is, because the big flights are interesting, but they're not where they're spending a lot of money on. So
yeah, exactly. I think if for small tiny payloads, I think it could work really well. I think maybe, but I mean, they've still got a lot of testing to go yet to prove they can actually get into orbit. They haven't got into space yet, but they're getting there.
If you could get it down to $1 million a launch, and you had a few payloads in there, and and
it could be even less than $1 million.
Oh well,
who knows?
In theory,
so
could be a fraction of that, couldn't it? In theory.
Yeah. So allow research organizations and universities and things like that an opportunity to perhaps raise the funds to actually put a small CubeSat or something like that into orbit. So yeah, who knows?
Anyway,
yeah, I'm hopeful it'll work.
There's things in my feed. Which I won't click on the other thing in my feed. I refuse to. Well,
what's the name of it? Spin Launch.
Spin Launch.
Spin Launch, yeah.
Yeah, Thunder's done several videos on it. He wasn't impressed.
That looks interesting. I'd like to watch it.
Yeah. So I was looking up the test that they did. They reached the height of 30,000 feet. So it's promising progress, it says, according to Spin Launch. I mean, okay, it's not brilliant height, but it's a start.
There's a few videos on it. This one I just pulled up because it was in my feed, but there's some better, which I've watched a couple others, which is why this one came up, I'd say. This is probably not the better of the informational videos. This is one of those usual CBS News type things, which a lot of guff and not a lot of information. But yeah, well, there's more of this one. I think this is a bit long. This is one of their ones that goes into a whole lot of detail about it. Anyway, yeah, I might trace up that. I'll find something better to put on than that one. Oh, you can't see what I'm showing you. Okay. Well, getting back to, I found some flat Earth having go at flat earthers stuff. So guess what? Flatzoid doesn't like Dell, just so you know. In case you didn't know that.
Flatzoid's channel got deleted, I hear.
I did hear that.
Apparently
for a little bit.
He got hacked and his channel got deleted,
Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently he's got it back.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
I saw someone posted yesterday that said he got it back.
He was out for 48 hours, I think, or so. He wasn't there for long. Yes, he is back. He had a backup channel anyway, so he didn't really go anywhere.
Well, he didn't have a backup channel. He just made another one.
Yeah.
And it said it was a backup channel, but it weren't.
I thought he had a different channel that he had some painting cars videos on.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But apparently I saw yesterday, they reckon he got his hacked channel back. How likely that is, I don't know, because I don't watch the Pratt anyway.
Don't know. I'd have to go and see if he's got all these videos and everything. Don't know. Anyway, this is him having a go at Dell.
One of the principles of the particle model of matter is that all particles are in constant random motion.
Here we go, there's Flatard Zoidan, the one that misrepresents me continually. Can anybody point to me any time that I ever denied? What has it said? I love how you deny gas particles. Flatzoid, right? Misrepresented me, right? I don't deny gas. I deny the conceptual mathematical depiction of gas, that being little dots. Can anybody point to me any time that I ever denied? What has it said? I love how you deny gas particles. Flatzoid, right? Misrepresented me.
Possible.
Right? I don't deny gas. I deny the conceptual mathematical depiction of gas, that being little dots. Can anybody point to me any time that I ever denied? What has it said? I love how you deny gas particles. Going round and round in circles talking utter shite. You know? So they make all these idiotic statements. I hear them recently talking about gas and gas particles and this, that and the other. Gas particles bounce off of each... You know, back to globe rhetoric again. These people are showing you that they're pushing globe rhetoric continually. You know, gas particles. For one, you're assuming that gas is little individual balls of stuff, and they depict that by drawing it such. These little dots of gas that bounce off each other. I'm going to ask a very simple fucking question. If you're going to depict gas particles as being little individual stuffs, what's between them?
And we can demonstrate that with the diffusion of gases, with an experiment in which we react ammonia with hydrochloric acid, NH3, with HCl.
Can anybody point to me any time that I ever denied? What has it said? I love how you deny gas particles. Gas particles. For one, you're assuming that gas is little individual balls of stuff, and they depict that by drawing it such. Right, that's what I deny, and Flatzoid knows that fine well. So Flatzoid thought he was going to debunk me. Ha ha ha! Dell denies particles. Oh, doesn't even realise he's in heliocentric globetard land. Love how you deny gas particles. Right, that's what I deny, and Flatzoid knows that fine well. Love how you deny gas particles. Right, that's what I deny, and Flatzoid knows that fine well.
The reason why we do that is to show you that gases move at different speeds.
Right, that's what I deny, and Flatzoid knows that fine well.
And this shows us that
It's
gases
over and over
are
and over
able
after.
to diffuse.
Yeah, repeated a bit, isn't it? Yeah, but that's a bit stupid repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Don't get it.
No.
Exactly. No.
That's enough of that one. I feel like
impossible.
a hard trivia quiz, Paul.
Yeah, sure.
Did everybody know that Flatzoid's channel got hacked? Did everybody lost his channel? You know that? Yeah.
Didn't we just say that?
He's got it
I
back.
guess you did.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, he's got it back, is he?
Yeah.
He's got it. He's got it back in its entirety. I've just checked. It's all there.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
I mean,
Probably
like
just
Dell,
document.
these flat earthers, they like denying that it's not little bouncy balls or atoms or whatever. They're all always saying what something isn't, aren't they?
Yeah,
They
that's
never
right.
actually make a claim as to what they think it is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why every time we like you know it yourself, Paul. You sort of tie them down. So, well, what is it then? Oh, I don't know. Nobody knows apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
But you just said what it isn't, but you're not prepared to say what it is.
all right, let's share a hard quiz.
Yes, you better share.
Here we go.
Oh, hello.
Hard quiz. Get yourself ready for a hard quiz.
So this is what, when you voted for the other quiz last week, you missed out on Paul's hard quiz. I'm just pointing that out.
Oh, what was that, Timbo?
I'm just pointing out to those people that voted for your hard math quiz last week that they missed out on this quiz. Just pointing that out, that's all.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Shall we proceed? No.
Yes.
Yes, we shall. All right, here we go. Question 1. This scientist names the problem of finding a configuration of n-point charges constrained to the surface of a sphere that minimizes the electrostatic potential. Who was it?
Whitsit. No, wasn't Whitsit.
Who?
Whitsit.
It wasn't Whitsit, no.
Brian.
Or Brian.
Any Brian.
Oh, let me shift my thing out of the way so I can read the chat. All right. Second clue. An effect name for him is used in laser diagnostic systems to measure the temperature and electron density of plasmas. Who was it? Not Gauss. Not Lindsay. Okay, a differential cross-section proportional to 1 plus cosine squared theta appears in this scientist's namesake elastic scattering of light by a charged particle, as contrasted with the inelastic Compton scattering.
When's Clive when you need him?
In 1912, this scientist separated neon 20 and neon 22 with electromagnetic fields, thus inventing mass spectrometry. Which has to be in a container, by the way.
Oh, obviously in a container.
I'm throwing it out there, but I think I'm wrong.
Not Rayleigh, not Lorentz, not Fleetwood Mac.
Not Thompson?
Huh?
Not Thompson?
Which Thompson?
I don't know.
There are a number of Thompsons.
It's a Thompson who does something with the second question.
In 1897, he showed that cathode rays are composed of small charged particles. Come on, he's known better than just Thompson.
J.J.
What
Thompson.
physicist discovered the electron and proposed the plum pudding model of the atom?
J.J. Thompson.
J.J. Thompson. That's
I had to Google it. Sorry.
Yeah. It was indeed that man, J.J. Thompson. Yeah. All right.
Just a quick word. Is that whenever you get a chance, ask Johnny how to say spectrometry. Ask him to say that and then explain what it is. It's hilarious. It's funny. Good fun.
Yeah. Question 2. One of these devices is placed directly after a collimator in a different device's Cherney-Turner design. What devices would these be?
Collimator.
Collimators.
Yeah, I know what collimator is.
So you put this device after a collimator. Ghost problems are minimized by using a type of these devices made with holography.
I don't know. A lens? A mirror?
Nope.
Nope.
These devices can be designed to concentrate power in a particular order by using the Littrow condition to calculate the proper blaze angle. Not a field stop, not a spectrometer, not a lens.
Laser?
James, not a laser. James Gregory demonstrated the theoretical basis for these devices using a bird feather. That should give you a clue, since the many barbules of a feather are analogous to these devices by Babinet's principle.
Oh, what would you call it? What's it? I don't know what that's called.
Not a microwave ray, no. Not a flux capacitor. Like prisms, these devices can filter unwanted wavelengths in spectrometers. The kind that don't have to be in a container.
Diffraction grating?
Diffraction what?
Grating?
Diffraction gratings is indeed the correct answer. Well done, Alan.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. In short period examples of these devices, their spacing is less than the incident wavelength. Yep. What optical devices use a huge number of parallel grooves or slits to diffract light? They are diffraction gratings. Yeah. Well done, Alan. And Clive got it out there too. Question 3. In this technique, signal is proportional to a parameter denoted Z and calculated by a sum over all particles of the 6th power of diameter.
Okay, I take your word for that one.
What is this technique? In this technique, increasing the PRF increases the unambiguous velocity, but decreases the unambiguous range, a trade-off called this technique's namesake dilemma. What are we talking about?
Is that the radar equation?
It's not interferometry, but the dual polarization form of this technique measures data on the size and shape of particles. Incoherent electrostatic disequilibrium. No.
It was very incoherent.
A signature called a hook echo in this technique indicates the presence of a mesocyclone.
That's definitely Doppler radar.
Doppler radar is the correct answer. Well done, Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. This technique measures the phase shift between successive pulses, which is non-zero because the motion of hydrometeor droplets triggers the Doppler effect. Name this technique in which reflected radio and microwaves allow for mapping of precipitation. It is Doppler radar. Yeah. All right. Question 4. This 3-word name denotes digital applications used by producers to create music, such as FL Studio, Ableton Live, and Cubase. What are they known as?
I think I should know this one. I don't know the answer yet, though.
Here's a pictorial graphic of, yeah, I mean, here's some footage of one.
It's a mixer. But that's not the answer.
This is a 3-part question, so that's the only clue you get.
Digital Audio Workshop.
Close. But I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I just read out
digital
what Turing test.
audio workstation.
Okay, I just read out Turing tests and Data Alert.
Oh,
yeah. Yep. I'll give it to Turing test 2 too. Yeah. Producers add instruments to their tracks by drawing notes in a file encoded in this standard, or by plugging in a controller and playing
MIDI.
notes. A so-called black genre of music named for this file standard often has millions of notes in its remixes. It is what?
MIDI.
MIDI.
Mm.
Yeah. MIDI. Musical instrument
digital interface.
MIDI. Yeah. And the last part, to make melodies less loud, producers use this technique, which reduces the dynamic range of an audio signal. As in computing, this technique may be lossy or lossless.
Compression?
Compression is the correct answer. Well done. Yeah. Where's my mouse gone?
Still on your desk, I'd say. It's your cursor you're looking for.
Yeah. Compression was the right answer, yeah. All right, question 5. The breathing of athletes intersperses a track that uses this non-percussion instrument titled Tour de France.
what is it? The Venezuela? What is that?
Say that in English, Timbo.
Is it the Villas? Oh, I can't pronounce it now.
Except it's not English, is it? It's not English.
No, it's French. Someone else will get it. It's all right.
Ralph Hooter played this instrument on the 1974 album Autobahn.
Oh. Yeah, I know what you mean, but I have no idea what it's called. Oh, damn.
During one of his young people's concerts, Leonard Bernstein performed the Little Fugue in G on this instrument.
It's not the fireman, but
Producer
No.
Rachel Elkind encouraged another artist to produce an album on this instrument after hearing an arrangement of an earlier composer's two-part invention in F major. That album, titled Switched on Bach, is by Wendy Carlos. Using what instrument? Not a theremin, not a kazoo.
No, it's not a theremin.
Many versions of this instrument have an arpeggiator feature, which automatically generates note patterns.
Kraftwerk.
We got the correct answer out there during test
Synthesizer.
2. Well done.
Oh, I was thinking
A
that. Oh, I
synthesizer.
didn't say it.
Yeah.
I didn't say it.
Grimfonder was very close with the Mini
Oh.
Moog, which is, of course, one version of a synthesizer. Yeah.
Mini work,
The
yeah.
Yamaha
Kraftwerk,
DX7 was the first digital one. Yeah. Robert Moog invented a variety of one instrument which converts electric signals into sounds. It is the synthesizer.
Synthesizer.
Yeah.
Hopefully they've got better.
You'll like this one. This trait was partially subverted by showing a character on the deck of the Marie Celeste in The Chase and demonstrably ended in an episode partially titled Remembrance. What trait are we talking about?
I've seen either of those or read about either of those, so I haven't got a clue.
This trait was parodied in a Punch cartoon with the caption, "Well, this certainly buggers our plans to conquer the universe," and it was later circumvented by levitation.
Is that the Daleks?
I need a bit more information than just the Daleks.
The Daleks not being able to go upstairs.
That is correct, Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Fourth Doctor hangs his hat on an ice stalk before referencing this trait by saying, "If you're supposed to be the master race of the universe, why don't you just climb after me?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Name this oft mocked quality, meaning that aliens who yelled "exterminate" have to take the elevator.
Of course, they don't now, do they?
No, they can fly now. Yeah.
No, they can fly now, can they? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I must
Yes,
admit,
they've
when I
been-
was a kid, it did occur to me as well. It wouldn't be hard to get away, run away from those things.
Exterminate.
Yeah.
They have been, as it's known, retconned. They have now gone back. They've now said, "Oh yeah, Daleks can fly all the time, yeah, because they've got little rockets and things." Yeah.
Sorry, my computer seems to struggle playing back audio. My computer seems to struggle doing anything these days, to be honest.
All right, question 7. This is the most well-known piece from a collection that also includes questions adapted from Schubert's Impromptu in G-flat major and Starbird, adapted from the theme of Stravinsky's The Firebird. What well-known piece is this? Not Fleetwood Mac.
Is it the silence or the? Hang on, it's not called the silence. Is it the roaring silence?
Nope.
No.
During several interludes in this piece, a synth rises to a sustained C, while the guitar repeatedly plays the 16th notes A, G, and F.
A.
Not Albatross.
I don't know this one.
That's Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, it's Fleetwood Mac.
This piece oddly starts on the second bar of its progression of B flat major, A minor, G minor, F major, which is introduced by a solo organ. No?
No.
After recounting a warning against looking into the eyes of the sun, this piece interpolates chopsticks. It's not the Flat Earth rap. No.
Don't know.
All right. Give you some easier clues. This piece's final verse overlaps two vocal lines singing previously heard phrases like some silicon sister with the manager mister.
Oh, that's ringing some bells.
Blinded by the light.
Blinded by the light is the one.
There you
well done. Yeah. This 7-minute long piece is a cover of the first single from Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey. Name this Bruce Springsteen penned piece, notably recorded by Manfred Mann's Earth Band, which contains the oft misheard lyric, revved up like a deuce.
Yeah, because that ain't what it sounds like.
No, that's right. It is Blinded by the Light.
By the light.
Yeah.
You lost me about halfway through that one. Okay. I know the song, but yeah.
Yeah. Question 8. Since 2001, the Canadian Space Agency has shipped seeds of this crop to the ISS to be studied by young students after their return.
Well, I could go through the obvious ones like corn.
What do the Canadians grow?
Corn, wheat, or
It's the most common crop for which cultivators distinguish between determinate and indeterminate manners of growth. Not lettuce, not cannabis. Robert Gibbon Johnson supposedly proved that this crop was not poisonous by eating a whole basket of them.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes
Yeah,
is
tomatoes.
The one.
Yeah, tomato seeds. I remember that's the project for Canadian Space Agency. I remember that. Yeah.
The San Marzano variety of this food, which is grown in volcanic soil near Mount Vesuvius, is sold peeled and canned. Yeah. Every year in the Valencian town of Bunol, a festival is held in which revelers throw this food at each other in the streets. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yes. Well, as well as you're the thrower, not the cleaner. You go on.
It comes in Roma and cherry varieties, and that you might find in your pizza sauce. It is, of course, that thing there, which is the tomato. I'm growing blue tomatoes this year, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah. Thought that would be interesting. I'm growing blue tomatoes, blue cucumbers, and blue corn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've grown purple carrots and, multiple coloured carrots.
Yeah.
But no one eats them. And they say, oh, that's fun, but I won't eat them.
Yeah. Question 9. Applying the Jensen inequality to a result derived by Jurinsky leads to this statement.
Is it WTF? Is that the statement?
Nope. The fluctuation theorem addresses situations when this statement is violated and explains that it holds on average.
Not yet. Not yet.
This statement is hard to derive from microscopic principles according to Loschmidt's paradox.
Oh, Clive's got it already.
Not the tropical gap. No. Perpetual motion machines that convert heat into motion are consistent with conservation of energy, but violate this principle.
Oh. I was going to say thermodynamics. Conservation energy is the right one, though. Yeah.
Come on, Timbo. You almost got it. One statement of this principle disallows spontaneous heat flow from a cold object to a warm object, and an equivalent statement of this law says that no process can fully convert heat to work. That one.
That one.
That one. But Clive Wells has got it right out there. It is the second law of thermodynamics. That's the one you were thinking about, weren't you, Timbo?
Yeah.
Name this law that requires the entropy in an isolated system to always increase. It is the second law of thermodynamics. Or as the first call it, thermodynamics.
Yes. We got to the third statement. I knew it was thermodynamics, but I couldn't have told you which one that was part of the
problem. Yeah. And your last question. In the Lorentz gauge, the scalar and vector potentials obey a differential equation describing these phenomena, and the d'Alembertian is an operator used to describe these phenomena.
Okay.
I think you've had this before. But I don't know what the
We've talked about the Lorentz gauge, but I don't know.
Yeah. Pretty sure.
In cylindrical conductors, these phenomena can only exist above a cutoff frequency in either TE or TM modes. Yeah, Nerdlet's right with the second law does not require the entropy to always increase, but to never decrease. That is absolutely correct. One type of these phenomena exists in materials composed of a core and a cladding, and their evanescent type extends beyond the edge of a fibre. These things can be produced by oscillating dipoles or antennas.
Electromagnetic waves?
Electromagnetic waves is correct. Yay. These phenomena obey a linear dispersion relation in free space, but their group velocity is related to c by the index of refraction when they propagate through a medium. Name this classical radiation of the electromagnetic field. It is EM waves. There you go. That was your quiz for today.
Thanks for that, Paul.
Not too hard.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's quite a good one.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah.
There you go.
I heard a flirt the other day, I can't remember who it was, talking about magnetic fields obeying the inverse square law. And I thought, they have no idea what they're talking about, because magnetic fields obey an inverse cube law, not an inverse square law.
No, they make it up.
Yep.
Well, before we get off this,
wasn't that Whitson?
It was probably Whitson.
Sounds like a Whitson thing.
He pretends to know a heap of shit, but he doesn't.
Well, before we get off the flirts, I do have a CC we can play. That's the last of my flirt. I do have a banjo, but he's just silly.
Chris.
This is
Westchester County.
Yeah, that's the one. I'll put him on. Here we go.
Wherever you may be, CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 9/8/23, and today's a Friday. I'd like to give you a little something to think about on a Friday, just in case if I'm unable to put a video out during the weekend. What does July 8th mean to you? For most people, it's 4 days
My birthday?
after July 4th weekend.
That's what it means to me.
course,
July the
that's
8th,
what
my
we all
birthday.
thought. That is a day that 99% of Earth, the impossible ball that people think we live on, is lit up with some sort of sunlight.
No,
All the
that's not what we
continents,
say at
everywhere.
all. No.
So that means below me, as that little saying goes, what are you digging for China? Is China. That's right. That's right. China is on the other side of the ball. Correct. Yeah. Okay, so let me get this straight. So 99% of all the continents is in daylight.
No.
However,
No.
there are some continents that are on the other side of the ball that are lit. You know, I've been trying to figure out, how to explain this to somebody who thinks they live on a ball. And I think I figured it out, guys. This is what it is. Check it out. Listen very carefully. I think for that to happen on a ball, okay, there has to be two suns. Yeah, that's right. It's hiding behind one sun. And on July 8th, the second sun comes out and lights up the other side of the ball. There you go. Awesome. I figured it out. That's the explanation I've been trying to fucking tell people. All right, who live on a ball. That's it. No, it's absolutely impossible for 99% of Earth to be lit up on that particular day with one
Very
sun.
true. Correct. Very true.
It's
Correct.
impossible.
Absolutely correct.
All right. So now in a flat Earth model, that works out fine.
No, it's not a flat Earth model either.
But it also shows how local that sun is. Why isn't it a full 100%? You see what I'm saying? So on a flat Earth, that date is very significant, and I think that should be the flat Earth day of the year. There are many other flat Earth days, but I think that should definitely be in the mix up there with the top of the flat Earth days. July 8th, every year. Of course, we have to wait about, 6 or 7 months for it to happen again, but that's all right. I'm sure we'll all stand by for it, and we'll be sitting there, and I'll be talking to somebody from China and saying, "Hey, what's up, man? You're not in dark, are you? No, well, we're in sunlight too." About 6 months ago, well, maybe 4 months ago, they were exactly, I believe, 2,400 or maybe even lower than that. Let's just say 2,100 cases that were recorded in the entire world. Okay, in the entire world, 2,100 cases of this mysterious thing that seems to be floating around. Now all of a sudden, so it's basically gone. It's been destroyed. It's gone. So what I think is these 2,100 people, I think they went from country to country, state to state, and they must have now infected everybody because everybody seems to be sick now here. Good job, guys. Bring it back. Let's do it again, shall we? This is how it is. This could just go on and on and on, and these NPCs, these trained fucking rats, will just gobble it up and they'll buy it. I'm looking at people on the sidewalk that have face masks on. All right, so we're now the percentages. Let's make sure we keep track of the percentage of people that are now wearing face masks. Here right now, I believe we are at about 30%. I'm talking to people, and they're saying, "Didn't you listen to the news?" Yes, that's right. And like, what's that? Is that the same news that told you that this has been eradicated 4 months ago and now it's back? That's the same. Is that the news? Is that the news that told you the face mask was something you should be wearing because it works? Was that the news that you listened to? Great. And now what are they telling you? To wear it again. And they will. They'll put it back on, and that's how easy it is to trick people. They've been tricking you all of your life, okay? All of your life, they've been tricking you. What's another trickery? They don't want Trump in the presidency. He's the best thing for this country. All right. I just found out that Biden just shut down pipelines in Alaska. Good job, Biden. You see how much he cares about you? He really does, doesn't he? He must love the Americans. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, he definitely loves the middle class. Absolutely. He's doing whatever he could possibly do to help the middle class. And let's take a look at his scoreboard. He raises gas prices by closing pipelines down and closing another one down just the other day. That's good. Okay. So that means everything goes up. That's right. If gas prices go up, it trickles down and people start to wonder, why is everything so expensive in the supermarket now? Hey, idiot, because gas prices went up. Gas is what fuels everything. That's why everything goes up. Don't give me any economic bullshit, nonsense, crap-holy shit. This is what it is. It's as simple as that. You want everything to come down? You bring gas prices down. That's it. Very simple. Very, very simple solution. Okay? Let's put all the countries to war. Let's try it. He's been trying it now for, I don't know, the administration has been trying it for like 6 or 8 months now by putting everybody to war, you know? Let's start a world war. Well, that's not going to happen because there's a treaty out there. Yeah, and you know what that treaty is? That means you cannot go down to Antarctica. You cannot set up shop down there. You can't wander around down there. You can't see anything down there. Does anybody question that at all? I mean, there's so many PowerPoints that people, if they fucking looked at it and said to themselves, you know, forget about all this mathematics and all this other bullshit that people think they know what the fuck they're talking about. There's some basic things that are here that can wake people up. All right? Just basic things. The Antarctica Treaty is the first basic thing. That's 101. Okay? If you don't see a problem with that you can't go investigate one single place you can't go investigating. You can't go down there. And if you dare go down there, you're going to get fucking arrested. And that's how it is. It's militarized, the entire area. How many times am I going to tell you this? Sure, you can go down there in some boat that's been chaperoned and take a picture with fucking penguins, but you can't bring your own boat and go down there yourself. If you have a helicopter, if you have a jet, if you have anything like that, you can't go down there. And if you do, you will die. It's as simple as that.
You're
and
wrong.
They'll make people, they'll pretend like people are down there hiking around and everything like that, make up these stories. But when we investigate it, they're not going anywhere. They're walking around in fucking circles. Oh, man. The compass. Huh, that's weird. Why doesn't the compass work in Antarctica? Why doesn't that work in Antarctica? That doesn't make any sense at all to me.
Who says?
Why is that? It should work all over. All right?
Does work.
But it doesn't seem to work there.
Who said that?
You know why?
Witsit said that.
Because where...
Oh, did he?
That's right. Santa Claus lives.
Said it must be
Yes, that's right. The North Pole. Yeah, that's where Santa Claus lives. That's your land. That's the center of flat Earth. There's something projecting this magnet, this pole, shall we say. And that's how our compasses work. But when you go down to Antarctica, it doesn't seem to work. All right, are you looking at the aspect of size? Think about size here. I want you to take a look, okay, of that. I want you to take a look of what I spoke to you about before with the sun projecting and filling up the sky, filling up light on 99% of Earth, okay? And then take a perspective and take a look at flat Earth, take a look at the model, take a look at North Pole, and then take a look at Antarctica that goes all around us, and then figure out something for yourself, that we live on a flat, stationary land, okay? And that's it. covered with something, a dome. I don't know what it is. None of us do. Said it. They're down there investigating it. They have all the right to do it because they're in the military. You can't go down there. You can't go down there and take a piece of the dome off. You're not allowed to do that. If you get anywhere near down, if you get anywhere near that area,
also correct,
you will be arrested. Doesn't anybody see this? They don't seem to have a problem with that. You're allowed to go anywhere else you want. Well, actually, you can't really go down to the North Pole either. That's another area that's been cordoned off because that's where, there you go. I think they call it the Black Rock or the Black Tree that's causing our compasses to work. We're not sure. Some kind of tower? I don't know. But we'll never be able to find that out. The North Star, up there. That's right. It never moves.
Which one?
Never moves.
Wrong again.
Yes, it does. Wrong. Yeah, very wrong.
Georgia Guidestones. There was a little hole right there. Star was there. Never moved for however many years it was. I don't know, what, 40, 50 years it was intact for?
Wrong.
Never moved. Ever. And it was destroyed.
The hole was pretty big, actually.
That was nice, that, wasn't it?
Nobody questions any of this. They don't see it. You don't have to use mathematics to figure out that you live on a flat land. Just do your work and just do a little research, okay? And that'll explain everything to you. Exactly what's going on. Exactly what they're doing. I have never seen what is going on right now in my entire life. This is the pinnacle point of history that we're going to be able to talk about. Is this the end? I don't know. I have no idea.
This is the end.
But the way the administration is going and the way everything is going on right now, the way I've been sitting by and looking at it, and looking and listening to what people are saying, you tend to think that, wow, why would they be doing all of this right now? Why would everything be falling apart? Why would they be letting everybody in, whoever they want, into the U.S.? Why would they be doing this? But you see how ridiculous it is, because a couple of years ago this time, when school started, all of your kids had to be vaccinated. That's right. Every single one of them had to be vaccinated. All of them. They couldn't walk into the school. Remember that story with the college kid? He refused to get his vaccination, so he had to stay at home. Or actually, no, I think they expelled him because of that. Do you remember that story? Yeah. I think one of the CNN or whatever, those ridiculous reporters, did a story on it. I remember it. Because I remember things from the past. You see, most people don't. Okay? They don't. They're very forgetful. Now, we have 22,000 students that are new to the classes down in New York City. We don't know
where the hell else.
None of them have been vaccinated. None of them have been checked.
I'm confused. Where the hell else would you remember things from other than the past? You
past.
Idiot.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you know, I remember a week next Tuesday. Oh, hang on a minute.
There's a clue built into the word remember, CC.
Yeah.
That implies the fucking past. Jesus.
Yes. Yes, I think we might.
Is that the end?
Well, it's not, but I think it's going to be more ranting.
Yeah. There's only two things that you said he was correct in that whole video. Two things. Number one, it's impossible for 99% of the Earth to be sunlit. Correct.
Yeah.
You cannot take a sample of the dome. Correct.
That's another
again.
correct. Yes. Well,
it doesn't freaking exist.
Well, there was another one where he said he didn't know what was at the middle of the North Pole. I actually believe he doesn't know what's at the middle of the North Pole.
Yeah. It's that thing about 99% of the Earth being lit up. It's the same misrepresentation when people say the Earth is 70% water. It's the same misrepresentation, isn't it? It's the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get it completely wrong and, just misrepresent. I mean, I think he does know, and I think he's lying personally. I don't think he believes half the shit that he puts out. I really don't.
Oh, I don't know. I actually think he does. I think he's that deluded. It's one of the more...
I think he probably thinks that the Earth is flat, but I think a lot of the other crap that he puts out, I just don't think he believes any of it. I don't know. Something just tells me he doesn't.
I think we might need an Everett. I got a couple of Everetts to play because they're building up. So let's put an Everett on, and I'll get my quiz ready. Well, let's go on. Let's find an Everett. Here we go. Everett. I'm pretty sure I haven't played this one. Where's my... Let's go.
And welcome back for another Flat Earth moment. And I thought in this video I would just tell kind of the story about how I learned about Flat Earth. I was attending this church.
Thanks for the warning. And don't describe it to me!
I spoke up and I voiced a question because, I mean, at that time I was operating under the globe paradigm.
Put a sock in it. No one cares.
So I was like, I don't get it. We're living on a globe, and pretend for a moment that my fist represents the globe.
I'll be in the Chamber of Understanding.
I was like, I don't get it. So if Jesus Christ is coming from this angle...
What?
How are all the people on the other side of the globe, how are they all going to be able to see Jesus Christ return? Isn't their view going to be blocked? So one of the guys, he said, you don't want to know.
What an odd thing to say.
So he took a deep breath and he said, it's because the earth is flat.
What do you boys think I should do? I don't know. Reward us for our honesty? hey, it worked for the beef. Do I look like a white guy named Ward?
I had a 2-hour drive home.
Isn't that sad, Bill? Mm-hmm. It's very sad.
And I basically watched YouTube flat earth videos for the entire 2 hours.
It's
That's
okay.
so good while you're
you know what would be
driving.
more appropriate? A straight jacket. Because you're a Looney Tune.
But Fez.
I said cuckoo.
I remember the first video that I watched, it was a video by, I can't even remember his name, but it was a black guy. He lived out of a van.
I am 35 years old. I am divorced. And I live in a van down by the river.
He was basically
Oh, which one of the
explaining
flat
that
earthers was that?
water doesn't curve.
Bitch, please.
Water, the
That was one
surface
that used
of
to go
water
and tune
doesn't
every now and
curve.
then.
Water always rests flat.
Isn't irritating at all.
And there was a puddle of water right outside my car, and I looked at the puddle and I was like, there's, water, it doesn't curve. Water doesn't curve into the shape of a ball.
Behold, the Begoninator!
I hadn't even driven home yet, but I just knew, wow,
Well,
the earth is
how
actually
could you
flat.
see the puddle?
Why?
I don't not believe in this stuff.
Why was I not notified?
And the moment I walked into my apartment to where my wife was, I said, I've got some news to tell you. The earth is flat.
Bless you.
It's for your own good, son.
I was waiting for him to say, and I'm living alone now. But
Yeah, yeah. Most of the other half coming home and going, the earth is flat. Yeah, bye.
that'll be it. See you later.
So wasn't it Oakley that said he watched a YouTube video and then woke his missus up in the middle of the night and said the earth is flat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit scary to do that.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you who remember last week, I did my quote little thing. So we're going to do another go now because I've reworked it. Since I'm doing the program, I thought I'm going to subject
is
you
this
all
all
to
going
it.
to be foreign? Is this all from Finland?
Yeah, Finnish. Yeah, Finnish.
It's Finnish, yeah. It's the same Finnish.
Finnish.
I
Finnish.
don't really know a lot of Finnish.
Yeah, well,
No, me neither.
You got to get the Finnish right.
We're gonna have to get Judy. We'll have to get Judy to do this one for us.
Yeah, Judy
Yeah.
can do the quiz.
Finnish.
She knows a bit of Finnish. Okay, so
I can do the song about Finland.
I'm trying to get versed in gibberish as well, but that's proving a bit more difficult.
I know a few people are good at gibberish.
Oh yeah, I know a few other people. I haven't managed to do gibberish.
Yeah, it's still in Finnish, Clive. So, no.
Carry on. Carry on.
I've reworked my
I've
program.
all taken the piss out of Timbo's spelling.
Yeah. I've reworked my computer program, so hopefully it's worked. So these are quotes, and a bit like Paul's music lyrics, you've got to see if you can work out the quote. I don't think you'll know them, but they're quotes. So let's see. The first one. Oh, this first one is from Albert Einstein. So there's your starting clue. See, I fixed it. See, now you can see the spaces. You can tell what letters there are. And the punctuation.
And see some. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that one.
A little clue I found is that if you use a font that doesn't put the lines all the way across, makes a big difference. You can actually see the spaces.
Or if you put a space in between each.
You could, but it looks a bit weird. I found this looks better. So, because they stretch out, yeah.
No,
okay.
No idea.
Any? Okay. Go on to the next one.
If I.
Yeah, that is right, Matt. Good guess. The first two words is if I.
I'm talking. Leave me alone. I'm talking aloud. Leave me alone. Don't bully me.
Let's see if we can get you to the fourth word there. Starts with R.
I'm thinking of myself, right? Just let me be.
If you speak out loud, you never know, it might help somebody else. I have put another level in there. We want to go to the next one. More letters.
If I could remember the name of all those.
What's the P word?
Oh, I see. I was a bit confused because I thought where you actually said could. I thought that was the same word when it went to the R and the M and all the rest of it. I thought
No, it's a space. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that now, but I didn't before.
You got to there. What's the P word?
Have I got to where? What are you talking about? I haven't got
No,
anywhere.
Paul got to there. Paul got down
right,
to if I could remember the name of all those something. What if? Will I give you a clue? Actually, no. I'll give you the next click. I'll click on the next one. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Too Too many.
Ah.
Too many.
Oh,
If I remember the name of all those tiny particles, I'd be a botanist.
Not familiar with that quote whatsoever.
No, I can't remember that one.
Yeah, well, there we go. So that's the game, Matt. That's the game. We'll go on to the next one.
Yeah, I get it. I get the game. I do understand it. You don't need to explain. I do know.
George Carlin.
George
Okay.
Carlin. Oh, I like a
Okay.
bit. I like a bit of George Carlin. Bit of a freak, but who didn't? Who? Don't. Who don't?
I think I
Why
need some help
don't?
out
Why
there,
don't?
Peanut. I know it's a bit hard typing in chat.
Why don't? Why don't they? Why don't they?
Have a.
Why don't they have a
Okay.
line? Oh. Why don't they have a? No, not getting it.
Not seeing that
Why
one.
don't they have?
Let's finish at the end. Yes, it does finish at the end. Nerd, will it?
Nah, just no, not getting it.
Not getting it?
No.
I'm having trouble distinguishing where words start and end.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same
well,
here.
the spaces are definitely spaces. So,
Yeah, I think you just need to put a bit
maybe next time I'll
longer
put
gaps.
I might put two spaces.
Longer gaps between.
I'll put
Why
two
don't
spaces.
they have a light beam that only shines on things? I can't see what the next word is.
You're almost there, actually.
I know, but WO something something H. The fuck
Only
is that?
shines on things
worth looking at.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, worth. Right, okay.
Right, I'm not familiar with that George Carlin quote either.
No, same.
Okay.
More familiar with you can't say tits on the radio, whatever it was.
This is the Bill Watterson. Bill Watterson one. Okay.
Who the fuck is that?
Who?
It's the guy who said this phrase you're about to work out. I'm showing what.
That's really not going to help. I have no idea who that is.
Oh dear. I think I might have to go. I might have to go to the next one because I think you're not going to get it from that. So here we go.
Ah, right. Okay. Now I know who he is.
Yeah. You should be able to pick up a few words in there.
Oh, it was a cartoonist that did what do you call it? Oh, cartoonist, right? Okay. Not familiar with him though. No.
That's looking at. That's right. There, look. The other one. The Peanuts might be able to Google through it quickly. I know who said it. Now they're going to work out what he said.
I think something. I think.
More letters.
I think the.
Okay. More letters. Do you want to give you the first word?
Something, isn't it?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Oh, right. Okay. Yes. Sorry. So, yes, something doesn't.
Sometimes I think, and then whatever.
Sometimes I think the short side, is that short side? SH?
Short.
No, it doesn't. No, short doesn't
doesn't
fit. No, short doesn't fit.
You can you say the word universe, Sydney?
Yes.
Yeah.
The universe in the moon. No, in the universe in the. Yeah, it's hard to tell which word's which.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Well, next go, I'll put double spaces in. I think that might solve that.
Continuous. Last word, continuous. No. Don't know.
Sometimes I think the
Oh,
surest sign of intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe is that none of it has tried to contact us.
Oh yes, that's typically how we
yeah. And I come to think of it, I've heard that before. I wouldn't have known that it was a guy called Bill Watterson. I've never heard of him. Even when I googled him after Farmer's Boy Dead, still none the wiser. I've never heard of him.
Okay. Evanista Issa.
Who?
Vanessa.
Another name I've got to Google. Who the fuck is it?
Yeah.
No, still none the wiser.
Okay, I'll give him more letters.
American humorist who wrote Assar's comic dictionary in 1943. Okay.
Never heard of him. Never heard of that.
No.
More letters? Nope.
Oh.
Bacteriologist is a man whose conversation always starts with the germ of an idea.
Oh, okay. Never heard of that quote either.
Okay.
No, none the wiser.
None the wiser. Okay.
I think you might have gone too obscure with these.
How about Einstein? Yeah. I've heard of him.
You've heard of this guy. Okay, but he's been attributed to so many quotes. Okay.
If we know.
Gotta be.
Yep. If we know.
That's got to be we.
If we know what.
If we know what is.
Yeah.
If we know what is. Oh, what it was.
That's not no, but close to no.
New.
New,
yeah. Mm-hmm. If we knew what it was we were doing, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, close enough.
If we knew what it was we were doing. Oh, I've got it. Hold on.
If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I've just looked up. I googled it. Just as you were saying it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay. Bernard Bailey.
Who?
Bernard Bailey, you're going to have to look him up too. I'll give him more letters to start off with. Definitely it's extra spaces in there.
Oh, another comic book artist again.
Yeah, they're good.
I'm recognising a theme going on here.
No, I'll give you more.
I know this one.
You know this one?
When science finally locates the center of the universe, some people will be surprised to learn they're not it.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Very true, actually, that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Richard P. Feynman. Heard of him?
Oh, Feynman, yeah, we've heard of him. Yeah, we've heard of him.
Okay. I might give you more letters. Yeah, give
I'd
me
be
more
surprised
letters.
if Paul. I'd be surprised if Paul doesn't get this one. I'm sure if.
In that first word is going to be the trick. The third word should be easy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you another letter.
Philosophy
of science is about as useful to someone as
You can see it's got an OG.
something is to birds.
Yeah. So what?
Ornithology.
Ornithology is to birds. Yeah. So, what was the first word again?
Philosophy
of
the science.
Science
is
about as useful to scientists as ornithology is to birds.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
There you go.
That's fair. Ornithology is not very useful to birds, is it?
No. There's this philosophy of science. Okay. Douglas
Adams.
Oh,
Yeah.
here we go. Here we go.
We can do a Douglas Adams.
Oh, nearly.
That's right, Nilla. You got it. He's not wrong. Nilla, he's right here. Philosophy of science isn't very useful to scientists. They're doing it.
I
Yeah.
refuse, I think.
Yep.
I refuse to.
Is that what Google said?
Oh, yeah, I've got it. I refuse to answer that question on the grounds that I don't know the answer.
Oh, yes. Yes, I have heard of that one now. That's about the only quote so far, but I've heard of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the
I
one.
refuse to answer that question on the grounds that I don't know the answer, yeah.
I mean, as arguments go, it's brilliant. I can't answer the question because I don't know the answer. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That's spot on.
Spot on. I forget how many more I've got. I know I've got 10 all up. I needed to put the things I know where we're up to. Okay. I'm going to start. SR.
Oh, back to him again.
Yeah. I'll give you more letters. Hang on. Need something in there. You disagree? Okay. Noted Lab thinks philosophy of science is useful to scientists. That should make it a bit easier. Should be able to work out the first word now.
Well, the first word's obviously statistics.
Yeah.
statistics the only science that
enables different different
You getting there?
No.
Move on to some of the other words.
Well, I was trying to, but
I think the next button finishes it. So
I don't know.
Don't know.
Can't see it.
Statistics, the only science that enables different experts using the same figures to draw different conclusions.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one. There was another one by the same guy, which actually is completely true. The definition of statistics: the science of producing unreliable facts from reliable figures. That's so true. Yeah.
Oh, I've got another one. Here. This one is by Isaac Asimov.
Oh, right.
Oh, we've heard of him. Yeah.
You have heard of him?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Give you some more letters. It's a bit hard. Take it up to the
it's not leaving me out,
penultimate level. Penultimate level.
Oh, I've got it. Found it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The saddest aspect of life right now is the science gathers knowledge faster than the society gathers wisdom.
Yep.
There you go. I found it.
Oh yeah, because that's well known. What?
No, I can't say I know that one. Only because I googled it, I found it.
I'm watching the second series of Foundation at the moment, and yet again, although it's been an awfully long time since I've read the books, it doesn't really bear much resemblance to the books. And I read them at primary school, for fuck's sake. Well, some of them were a bit
obscure. Oh,
obscure.
Very obscure. When you've got to Google the person who's making the quote because you've never heard of them.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to find.
Yeah, I do like the idea though. I'd like to see it again.
The premise is good.
Yeah, some more well-known people would be nicer. Well-known quotes, and also putting gaps between the words would be useful too.
Well, I'll have to edit my code then. So where's my thing go? So that's what it looks like. Isn't it fun? So
that's pretty horrible.
Right. Well, that was awfully fun, but I think I'm going to bugger off because I just realised it's 2:30.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you've got to go to your thing.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Oh well, we'll see you again. We might.
We'll see you. We'll see you next weekend. Yeah.
Dear.
What's
Solidarity, brother.
Pablo Picasso.
Solidarity, Reg.
Pablo Picasso. I'd like to live like a poor man, only with lots of money.
Yes, I've heard that one.
Poverty isn't everything, but money makes it more bearable. Yeah. Right. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah. So I got to add spaces to my. Thing. I'll do that next week. I should send this to Paul. So if you ever want to do a music quiz again, Paul, you can use my code. You just have to put in the phrase, and I'll rectify it a little bit.
No. I've done enough music quizzes. Eventually, you run out of good songs to
do.
You just end up
you start
drawing on shit.
I was going to say, do you start picking songs that Matt knows?
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt.
do the entire quiz about Queen, and I'll be there. I'm fine. I'll get that. That'll be all right.
We'll do every song answers in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. Very specific.
Yes. I remember.
I thought I wasn't too bad at music quizzes until I started doing the music quizzes on here. I thought I was all right, but obviously not. I don't know. I'm behind the times, I think.
Yeah, Paul secretly gives farmers all the answers beforehand just to annoy you.
I never did. I never once did.
Yeah. No, I know.
Don't spoil the conspiracy, okay? Just leave it at that.
Right? Before we go, I've got to play another Everett. As I said, I've got a couple of Everetts to get rid of. Let me find another one. I have a running sheet. And, they've been building up because I haven't been getting to play them. So let's put another Everett on. Here we go. Press that in there. Press that in there. Back and forth in my headphones.
Rupus nigra. What the hell is this? Well, it happens to be the magnetic center of the Earth.
Oh, yeah, that's that shaft he was talking about.
Now, I'm not talking about a globe model where I'm talking about the inside of the Earth. I'm talking about on a flat Earth model, the magnetic center of the Earth.
Okay.
Here we can see it in the middle of all that. Right in the middle. And so what is it?
That is such bullshit.
The Rupus nigra, otherwise known as Black Rock, a phantom island, was believed to be a black rock located at the magnetic North Pole or at the North Pole itself. It purportedly explained why all compasses point to this location.
It's written in some strange language unknown on this planet.
Jim. I wonder where Black Rock gets its name from. I wonder where this cube in Astor Place in Manhattan gets its shape from.
Oh my God, that's the most horrifying story I've ever heard.
Get out, will you? Now, some people talk about a place at the North Pole called Mount Meru.
Why are Americans so fat and stupid? Tatsuro!
Well, first of all, I wish on behalf of Japanese government to apologize. Last week, I said all Americans are fat and stupid. It's not true. I mean to say, some are fat, some are stupid.
On a globe model, you got North and South Pole, sure. But on a flat Earth model, it's a ring magnet. The ring is the Antarctic ice wall. And the magnet, the center, is the North Pole.
You can't make this stuff up, you know? And now it's time for predictions. But first, let's look at the monkey.
Bush, sir. Bush.
Oh, I tell you, I never get tired of that.
This up here is the inside of a natural Himalayan pink salt lick cave in Pakistan. The problem is that this is salt, yes, but they're actually kind of lying to you. It's salt by proxy.
Come on, Buck. What's keeping you?
I misplaced my dead bird, if you don't mind.
They're lying to you, telling you this is purely salt. It's not. Let me show you what this really is. That, my friends, are uncooked pork ribs. So you heard the fact that mountains are really, petrified and fossilized, I guess, giants or whatnot.
How long have we got? I'd say 5, 4. Come on, kids. 3, 2, 1.
So when you find these salt licks in caverns, this is the petrified meat. And would it make sense that the outside of the mountain don't look like meat, right? Because it's exposed to all the elements, but the inside, it's like the innards of the giant, right? I know some of you are like, oh, you done lost your mind, soft-spoken shaman.
My name is Plays with Squirrels.
So if you think about it, if these mountains and these caverns are like fossilized giants or whatever, then of course the salt cave would be pinkish because that's what the meat is. It's pink meat.
I married a moose.
Well, guess what? I suspect they're in the mud floods too.
I like a bit of Everett.
We do like a bit of
I do
Everett.
like watching his videos. Yeah.
Well,
I should stop watching them actually, and then just let you play them because I've already seen
You're
them.
allowed to watch it. That's right.
Yeah,
That's what you want to show.
I need to stop doing that.
Yeah,
I'd like to.
You still need to be giving him the views, though, don't you?
Well,
I
that's
do.
true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So I do encourage
I still
people
like
to
to
watch it.
maybe. I still like to maybe. Because I'm pretty sure. Only trouble is his videos can tend to be a bit long. Scott Manley, I was going to suggest, but sometimes his videos are a bit long. Yeah. I mean, I know for a fact that he wouldn't mind you playing his videos. I'm sure of it.
No. Well, I should ask him. He's on. I think he's in gyms a fair bit. Pretty sure that's the same Everett.
Who's Scott Manley? Oh, Everett. No, I'm talking
Everett,
about Scott Manley. I was going to say Scott Manley in Gems.
No.
Doubt it. He'd put a few people right if he was in Gems. I could say that much.
Well, I think we might come to an end. I know it's a little bit earlier than usual, but let's draw it out.
Yeah,
otherwise, we've got to watch.
I quite agree with.
Go on.
So I agree with some of the peanuts. You need to do it. You need to do an FE quotes.
Oh, FE quotes
quiz.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You should do.
I could do that. I'll have to.
But I think the idea then perhaps don't say who it's by because that might give it away. But just a quote.
Yeah, but it's a bit hard when you do something like "Thanks, Bob." 2 words.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is an egg.
This is an egg. It's sort of like some of them might be a little bit too easy.
Yeah, some of them might.
And then
some of
the
them
ones
might
that are not so easy it might be a little bit obscure when you're trying to do it.
Yeah.
This is a ppm meter. I don't know what it does.
Yes.
But let's pretend I do anyway.
Right.
And it does parts per million, but I don't know what that means either.
Yeah.
Per million.
Well, you did say it's just a number. I don't know what it means. It doesn't matter. You said or something.
It changes when I put. It changes when I put more salt in it, so therefore it must be the density.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the logic. Well, we might call it a. Go on. Before I call it.
And hygrometers aren't even that expensive, are they?
No.
You could have done the job properly.
Yep.
Well, he could have said, shouldn't it weigh more if you put more salt in it? But then I suppose it would. Density would say. Volume would be the same. Anyway. We might call that an end, guys. We might. It's a little bit early, but as I said, I'm down to. I've got a banjo, and I really don't want to play a banjo. I have banjo, all these two things, and some flatzoids, and that's really annoying when you get down to playing flatzoids. I think he's put more out this for someone whose channel was hacked. He's put out more stuff in the last week. None of it was particularly useful, but I think he's.
But he's got his channel back in its entirety, apparently. So.
Yeah.
Did you like Brian's Logic's latest short about why gravity can't work on a globe?
No, I didn't get that one.
Didn't you see that one?
No, I was.
No.
I looked through Brian's stuff. I didn't see it pop up. So,
give us a brief summary.
His reasoning is that because things get less buoyant, right, as you rise up in the atmosphere because there's less air, right?
Yeah.
And so things should start weighing more as you go higher, not less, because there's less buoyancy.
No.
But of course, he completely ignores the fact that the gravitational field weakens as you go higher, you know?
Yeah. But even under their their density thing, if they weighed more, they'd drop. So that doesn't make any sense. They'd have to weigh less. Even if I got... Yeah. Okay. Well, he's not the the most intellectual as the flat earthers.
No, he's not the most intelligent, is he?
No. And he sits in the same group that they're all just nod and say yes, whatever you say type people. So these ideas get about. Okay, guys. If you guys want to say good night, Peanuts, I'll push the big red button here in a sec.
Good night.
Good night,
Peanuts. Good night, Peanuts.
Good night, Peanuts. Good night, Peanuts. I'll catch you next time. You'll get the notifications.
Foreign country.